There we go. I've just lost my stream, but hello, and welcome to 1WSR's Guerrilla Cricket broadcast of this first T20 between India and South Africa. It's come to you from Delhi at the Firoz Shah Kotla Stadium, where Temba Bavuma has his team in the field. India are batting first. I have Tsepo with me on air today for the first session of this first innings. Hi, Tsepo, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you, Ravi?
This
I
is
just
Wahid.
also have to sort out my. Sorry, Wahid. I just quickly have to sort out my stream. As you can see, as you can hear, I'm busy rushing. Dogs are barking. It's all going crazy here, but keen to watch some cricket.
It's chaos over at Tsepo's, and we hope that the cricket will be less chaotic for the Proteas this afternoon. Opening the batting for India, we would have it looks like Ishan Kishan, and is that Gaikwad? Yes, it is. Opening the batting, Gaikwad, who plays his cricket for Chennai Super Kings in the IPL. India have given a few younger players a chance today. Hi, Ravi.
Hi, Anis. India have been very badly hit by injuries, haven't they? No Kohli, no Sharma, no Ravindra Jadeja, so no Jasprit Bumrah, no Surya Kumar Yadav, no KL Rahul, no Kuldeep Yadav. So they kind of had to give the youngsters a chance. And Rishabh Pant is captaining, who only made his captaincy debut on the IPL this year. So
yeah, and we're going to start South Africa starting with Keshav Maharaj, which has been a hallmark of the limited overs tactics for the last couple of months, or for the last while, is starting off with a spinner in the limited overs format. In fact, we saw Keshav Maharaj and Simon Harmer open the bowling for South Africa even in Test matches. South Africa have really developed a love of spin, which is new to this team and new to this country. We haven't seen this too often before.
Wow, that Anis, are you taking ball by ball?
Yeah, first one, Keshav turns it from in towards the left-hander, takes the outside edge, and it runs down towards the short third man for no run. Maharaj from the get-go, right on the money here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Otto.
Back in. Oh, that's prodigious turn there from Maharaj, and he beats everything. That's going to be wide as Quinton de Kock misses the ball completely and runs down towards the fine leg boundary for 4 wides. Quinton de Kock missed that. That turned sharp from outside the off stump, turning and missing, turning to and being wide of the leg stump, signaled wide by the umpire and runs all the way down for 4.
Prodigious signaled wide by the umpire. That's 5 wides then.
Yeah.
Maharaj back defended into the cover region where it's fielded by David Miller for no run there. India now 5 with no loss halfway through the first over.
Right. Well, we've got 3 watching on YouTube, so no comment so far.
Ooh, and this time Kishan comes down the wicket and plays Maharaj back into the offside where it's again fielded by David Miller, and it's no run. It's actually Rassie van Dussen, excuse me. And it's no run there. 5 for no loss.
Yeah. Tsepo, we can't see you, so we can hear you.
Yes.
Off stump this time, and it's a bit of a heave from the batsman who catches a big outside edge, and this runs down towards the third man region for 4 runs. This is a really good over in terms of what the bowlers produced. However, he hasn't had the just rewards for it so far. 9 off the over with only 4 balls gone. And Maharaj has been menacing despite copping a few runs this over.
His turn definitely is hectic.
Maharaj over the wicket now into Kishan, who smashes him over the cover region for 4. That takes India's total to 13. No loss with 5 balls gone in the first over. Just as I talked Keshav up a bit, he's a bit loose, and Kishan comes down the wicket and plays this one-handed over the cover region for 4. Maharaj last ball of the over, and Kishan tries to cut him and misses the ball. It's taken by Quinton de Kock behind the stumps. No run. That brings in the first over. India 13 for no loss.
Yeah, he took his bottom hand off the bat and he still managed to crack it for 4.
Yeah,
good start for India there, Ravi.
What's that?
Good start for India.
Well, yes, lucky as well, because as you say, Keshav was getting the ball to talk. So let's see what Rabada does.
Yeah, Kagiso Rabada, South Africa's premier fast bowler and the leader of our attack into the attack now. He is right arm, very fast, just 27 years old. It feels like he's been around for ages and ages and ages, but he still is quite young, is Kagiso Rabada. He has played 41 T20 internationals, taken 49 wickets with an economy of just over 8 runs.
At an average of 25.4 as well in T20 internationals.
Rabada steaming into the wicket here. Over the wicket to Gaikwad, who defends it towards mid-on for no run. Fielding done by Dwayne Parnell. Good to see him back in South African colours.
Definitely an interesting narrative of Dwayne Parnell. Started his international career very early into his career as the under-19 captain. That was very successful in his World Cup campaign. Sort of fell out of favor for quite some time, but has come back with age after a Kolpak deal.
Yeah, Rabada back over the wicket and just outside the off stump this time, played towards the leg side into the mid-wicket region where Wayne Parnell comes around from mid-on and does the fielding, keeps them to 1. That takes the score to 14 for no loss with 2 balls gone in this second over.
Have we talked about Markham's COVID and Tristan Stubbs' chance? Shine.
That also a very interesting narrative. Aiden Markham did pretty decently in the IPL, and Tristan Stubbs sort of got fast-tracked into the side after a very decent T20 campaign domestically. And one of our resident commentators, Werner, really likes him, and I don't see why not. A very young man, tons of potential.
Rabada back in over the wicket and defended off his legs towards the backward square leg region. That'll be another run. Question for you, Tsepo. Tristan Stubbs seems to have been fast-tracked into the side, and Divock Brevis hasn't been. There was talk about Tristan Stubbs maybe changing his nationality or his allegiance should he not get a chance. Do you think maybe that the fast-tracking had something to do with those rumors?
I think, very interesting rumors to bring up.
Rabada over the wicket, and that's outside the off stump. It's play and a miss there, and it goes through to keeper de Kock for no run.
But I think the runs do a lot of the talking, especially his form domestically did very well for the Warriors. And there's a reason he did get fast-tracked into an IPL side, and his time in India probably also helped.
I'm just comparing him to Divock Brevis, who's maybe the wide warrior of the domestic scene at the moment. Rabada over the wicket and defended off his hips towards mid-wicket for no run there. 15 for no loss with 5 balls gone in the second over.
Maybe it's a matter of trial, just trying him out earlier. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see Divock Brevis a bit later in the series, but
Divock Brevis wasn't chosen in the squad.
Oof, that's actually
Rabada over the wicket, and this time Gaikwad gives himself room outside the leg stump and tries to heave it over the covers, misses it completely, and it carries through to Quinton de Kock for no run. That's an excellent first over from Rabada, just 2 runs from it, and that takes India 15 for no loss after 2. It's interesting, the Stubbs versus Brevis debate, and it won't be a Stubbs versus Brevis debate for very long. They will both have a chance to play, and they will probably both have very long and prosperous international careers. It just seemed strange to see Stubbs given the chance ahead of Brevis, considering all that Brevis has achieved so far. And I wonder if the selectors had bought into the rumor surrounding Stubbs a little bit.
It's definitely something to think about.
Nortje into the attack for the third at the start of the third over. As a very, very good ball, pitches on leg and beats the left-handed Kishan outside off stump. Very, very good ball from Anrich Nortje, who's South Africa's lightning thrower here. He is so quick, and that one did a lot off the seam.
Now, definitely one of our best bowlers. Great to have him back in the team.
Nortje steaming back in, and this time wide outside the off stump, and actually Quinton de Kock struggles to get a hand to it. It's eventually fielded by Rassie van der Dussen, the first slip, and it's given by. It seems a bit weird to me. Well, that looked wide to me.
No, just flirting with that outside line, and you could see how Quinton de Kock dove to his left. You could see just the movement off the pitch, making it very difficult for Quinton de Kock. But yeah, no, lots of movement late for Heinrich Nortje.
Yeah, Quinton de Kock back into the side. Obviously, he has retired from Test match cricket, so he'll now be in and out of the side and won't be a permanent fixture. Nortje over the wicket, and an attempted pull from Gaikwad, but it's way too close to him, and he struggles to get that shot off. It eventually trickles down towards mid-on for no run. We're seeing aerial photos of Delhi, a place I traveled to for the first time in 2018. Phenomenal city. Really enjoyed my trip there. I actually did see the Firoz Shah Kotla Stadium. I drove past it, but I was there in the Indian winter and there was no cricket going on. Nortje steaming back in, and this time this is very full. It's a big appeal from Nortje to the naked eye. It looks like it's going down leg. I think Quinton de Kock and the umpire both agree with that. No chance of a referral there. The only one really interested there was Nortje himself, Tipple.
Indeed.
As we see the replay, it looks like it's hitting sort of in line with hitting the right hander in line with the leg stump and probably going down leg. This time, again, very close to the body, tries to pull it. It's gone high up in the air and all the way for 6. It was really very much a top edge. And some lucky runs there for Gaikwad. That could have gone anywhere, and it just happened to sail over towards the fine leg region for 6.
Huge runs for Gaikwad here, living by the sword, just throwing his hands at this. And we've been seeing Kishan doing the same with Keshav Maharaj, and you can really get big runs here in Delhi. What a shot that one off the top edge, pace of the ball there.
How nice is it to see a full stadium in India? Well, I think it's a bit ridiculous that we're still going to have limited numbers in our. It's Nortje in towards Gaikwad, who heaves him down towards the leg side. It's a very good fielding on the boundary from Dwayne Pretorius to stop the 4, and they'll come back for 2 runs there.
A prodigious pace here being used, and good timing to get it behind square. You'd probably expect Timber Bavuma to maybe stock up the back there, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
South Africa, Dwayne Pretorius and Rabada in the outfield trying to sort of tag team the fielding and not reading each other very well. So not going as choreographed as they would have hoped. That brings an end the third over, and that is 24 for no loss, India. So 8 runs and over so far, which South Africa might not be happy with considering Rabada's over was went for just 2.
Just lacking control from the one end of the pitch.
Yeah, Rabada back in over the wicket to the left hand. Oh, it's chopped on and just misses the stumps as it's behind the bowler. There's a shy at the stumps, but batsman was well safe, and it is backed up by mid-on. We're seeing a replay of the big LBW call, and as Tepo and I said, that was going down leg and a touch high as well, Tepo.
Yeah, no, just as mentioned, a lot of movement here for both bowlers, and just the pace being very difficult to control for the Indian batters.
Rabada over the wicket to the right-handed Gaikwad, and that's driven into the offside. Not timed very well, excuse me. And Temba Bavuma, the captain, does the fielding at mid-on and keeps them to 1. That's each batsman now has 10 runs off 10 balls, and the score is 26 for no loss, with 2 balls gone in the 4th over.
You must feel the South Africans must feel hard done. Lots of opportunities coming close. Tons of edges here. Not a lot of control from these batters, but they've been surviving.
Rabada over the wicket and defended into the offside towards the backward point region for no loss. I wouldn't say chances, but maybe like half/quarter chances even, if you wish. It just looks like whatever runs the batsmen are getting have been quite lucky so far, but that's just sort of the luck that you need to ride out in T20 cricket. Current temperature in Delhi is 38 degrees with the humidity peaking a bit. It is very, very hot in India at the moment. Rabada over the wicket. That's a full toss, and it's smacked by the batsman past the bowler, and that will run for 4. Smacked straight down the ground. To be fair, it was quite a rank ball, wasn't it?
No, couldn't agree more. It looked like it just slipped out of KG's hands, but it was a beautiful full toss that was just powered down the ground for 4 runs straight past the bowler.
Sort of stuck his boot out at that, and the batsman hit it so hard, might have done a bit of damage if he did get a boot on it.
Definitely, that was going with a lot of pace.
So KG back over the wicket, and this time it's played and missed by the left-handed Kishan. There's a slight appeal, but I don't think anybody was too interested in that. 2 outside the ring at the moment is a deep backward square leg, and sort of is that a third man during the power play here?
Yeah, it did look like a third man, but there's definitely one person behind square.
Yeah, it's the deep backward square leg. It's sort of a hybrid there between square leg and fine leg, you'd almost imagine there. Rabada over the wicket, slower ball this time, and it's signaled wide outside the off stump by the umpire. Good to have you back, Ravi.
Talk to me about technology and me. Anyway. So near the end of the power play, India haven't done too much, and knowing India, over 7 to 15, they'll just go to run a ball and then try to smack it from the 16th to the 20th over, won't they?
Rabada over the wicket, and again, this is the type of quarter chanced edge, lucky runs down to third man region that Tepo and I have been talking about. Batsman was trying to play it into the leg side and sort of got an edge through the second slip region, and it's run down towards the boundary for 4 runs.
Just interesting to see
35 after 4 overs. Kishan is on 18 from 14, and Gaikwad is on 10 from 10.
Interesting to see the lack of slips or people catching on the offside. We've seen lots of edges, and we'd probably expect a whole lot more opportunities, especially behind square on the offside.
I know we talk about X goals and X assists, and in this game the expected wickets are probably like 3 or 4 at the moment, based on everything that we've seen.
Expected wickets.
Bringing our football knowledge in here.
A large portion of that 35 comes up 13 in the first over. Otherwise, they've just been going at 7.
Wayne Parnell into the attack now. It's short and pitched outside leg stump. It's pulled away by the batsman towards that deep backward square leg region, and it's 1 run. Parnell into the attack. He's 32 years of age. He's actually not that old. It feels like Wayne Parnell is about 44, but he's only 32, and he still has a bit of time left to resurrect his career. He could have a very good end to his career in Proteas colours again.
Yeah. Or he could be like Jimmy Anderson and play until he's 65.
Parnell over the wicket to the left-handed Kishan. Very good ball and defended towards the point region for no run. He could. Jimmy Anderson. I don't see Jimmy Anderson stopping anytime soon. He's like he just seems to be getting. He doesn't seem to be getting older. He just seems to be getting better.
There's something.
Yeah. Here's a question on YouTube for us. If we've got time before Wayne Parnell's next delivery. Ray PMB 9.
Batsman comes down the wicket and sort of tries to play it into the offside. It's missed and carries through to the cock for no run.
Yeah. Ray PMB 9 asks, why isn't Reza playing? I'm not a fan of him, but Stubbs at 5 is asking too much.
I've got a short answer, and I'm sure Tepo has a longer answer. My short answer is because he's rubbish. I'm not sure what Tepo has to say about that. Parnell over the wicket this time, and Kishan tries to sort of push it into the offside, misses everything, and carries through to the cock for no run. I'm no fan of Reza Hendricks. I feel like Reza Hendricks is one of those players who's too good for domestic and SAA, but not good enough for international cricket. He's had 1,000 chances and not used them.
Now, the thing about Reza, and I'd agree with you on that point, he is quality, that must be said, but there's just no space for him at the top.
Parnell over the wicket again, and batsman tries to cut it this time, misses it again, and no run. 36 for no loss with 1 ball to go in the 5th over. He strikes me as a modern day Butta Dippenaar, a player who's like extremely efficient at a domestic level and even at an SAA level, but just struggles to make that step up into international cricket.
So would he be good for the IPL then?
We'll chat about Parnell over the wicket and defended into the offside again for no run. It's been a very good over from Wayne Parnell. Just the 1 run off it. 5 dot balls to end that over. 36 for no loss after 5 overs. Run rate is 7.2. Kishan 18 from 19 and Gaikwad 11 from 11. Sepo, I'll let you field that.
Sorry, what was the question again? I was looking for some Reza Hendricks.
If we say that Reza Hendricks is good enough for domestic and SAA cricket, but not good enough for international cricket, where does that leave him in terms of the IPL?
I think he just has to show a few more performances. But to be fair, he's pretty old. So the thing about Deval Brevis and Tristan Stubbs is that they show youth, they show potential. They're definitely the golden boys of their generation, whereas Reza Hendricks is at the back end of his career. And he's not like Rassie van der Dussen, where he's like tearing the door down.
Norkia this time over the wicket, and it's played off his hips for a very flat 6. That's a phenomenal shot there from Gaikwad. It towards the backward square leg region. It goes very, very flat for 6.
That was a fantastic shot.
Yeah, he just picked up the length so quickly, and he's played it off his hips. Very, very good shot.
He didn't look like he'd put any power into it either. It was just timing as he pulled it.
Norkia again over the wicket, this time down the leg side, and it'll be a 1 leg by towards the short fine leg region. To put in perspective, that carried over the way that carried over the boundaries, that if Temba Bavuma was stationed there, he might have caught it at waist high.
Yeah. Temba, I don't know if you saw him at the toss, but he's about a head shorter than Rishabh Pant, and Rishabh Pant is one of the shortest guys in the Indian team.
Yeah, Temba's wasn't blessed in the height stakes. Anyway, Nokia back over the wicket to the left-handed Kishan, who plays it very late down towards third man for 4. That's an excellent shot. That is a very, very smart cricket shot from Kishan. Takes the score to 47 for no loss halfway through the 6th over. Andrek
South
Nokia
Africa
has been extremely expensive.
Well, South Africa are paying for not having a third man, aren't they, to the seamers?
The third man is there, Ravi. He's just very, very, very wide. He's not fine enough to be stopping these boundaries. Also, it's Debray Shamsi. This time, very fast and outside the off stump and beats the batsman for pace. Carries through to the cock for no run. I mean, I think of all your unathletic players to have Debray Shamsi there, he's probably not catching any of these that running way towards that region for 4.
Look, and like I'm all against like fat shaming and whatnot, but I feel like Temba Bavuma he's not doing his man. He's not doing him a solid. You know why? You need to have your fast player out there.
We're not fat shaming. We're commentating on sports. All this time from Nokia and smash through the offside for 4 through the cover region. That's a fantastic shot. Not fat shaming for a sports commentator to say that a player doesn't look fit or fast or athletic.
Ria Weideman thanks us for our commentary on YouTube. And Ray PMB, who's a fan of yours, Sipple, says, I'm also not a fan of Riza. He can't score more than 125 strike rate and doesn't have too many scoring shots. So that's another point, I guess.
Yeah, Riza is one of those players who strikes me as someone who's who doesn't score quickly enough to play T20 cricket, but isn't good enough to play the longer format of the game. Like, he's never been a very good longer format player. Andrek Nokia this time, outside the leg stump, the batsman tries to give himself a bit of space. It probably carries through to cock just over the leg stump, so not signalled wide by the umpire. The batsman's not happy with it. That brings to an end the 6th over, 51 for no loss. Nokia very, very expensive here so far.
Well, at least the power play is over, so South Africa have a chance to regroup.
22 runs from Nokia's 2 overs, and I suspect he's bowled himself out of the attack. We'll probably see Shamsi into the attack quite soon now.
Yeah, lots of our bowlers have been pretty expensive. Even Keshav Maharaj started with quite a few boundaries and even a big wide with some prodigious turns. So just some lack of control here from the bowlers. Just need to tighten it up. The fine margin is just costing them.
Well, you can't blame
13. I think he was a bit unlucky, but Andrek Nokia has just bowled with a complete lack of control.
You can't blame Maharaj for that wide.
Oh! So the ball was quite short from Parnell, and Gaikwad has smacked it straight through the hands of our fine leg, who's put down quite an easy chance and has gone for 6. This is not good at all from South Africa. That's a very straightforward regulation catch on the boundary. I wonder if Dwayne Pretorius lost the ball in the crowd. That can be my only explanation for such a bad bit of fielding. Anyway, this time Parnell with a slower ball, and it's chipped towards Temba Bavuma at mid-wicket, and that brings to an end Gaikwad, who goes for 23 or 15. The score's 57 for 1 with 2 balls gone in the 7th over.
Wayne Parnell is having a great first 2 overs here. Firstly, just not conceding a run in the first over. An opportunity that went down, and I must say, Dwayne Pretorius, it looked like it rushed him. And then the next ball, a wicket here. A very simple catch for Temba Bavuma. So that left armour doing very, very well here.
He's been excellent on his return here, hasn't he, Wayne Parnell?
Indeed,
well, maybe it's his experience coming into play here.
Ravi, how much difference does experience make in T20 cricket? Sometimes we go on and on and on about experience, but sometimes players like Stubbs and Devon Brevis, they just play without fear. And I'm like, I wonder in
Oh yeah,
T20.
batting. In batting, you can bat without fear, but when you're bowling, I think experience does count because you see how a batsman sets himself up, and you decide I've got a ball for this.
Yeah, fair enough. Just sometimes in T20 cricket, I often feel like younger players just play with a lot less fear, and with a lot less fear brings a sort of X factor that makes a big difference in this format of the game.
Oh, absolutely. For batting, it's fantastic when you have younger players playing without fear. Otherwise, you've got people like MS Dhoni who refuses to hit the ball for the first 20 balls and then suddenly tries to start smashing it.
Next to the crease, we have Shreyas. Tepo, do you want to rattle off some stats?
Give me a second.
Shreyas on strike, Wayne Parnell over the wicket. Oh, this is a very good ball. It's a stifled appeal from Parnell, but that's hit him very high up. It's going to be leg buys towards Dwayne. It goes down to Dwayne Pretorius on the fine leg region for one run, excuse me. Shreyas Iyer coming in at 337 T20 matches, 809 runs, a strike rate of 141 with a best of 74 not out. Fantastic player.
I want to remind all our listeners that they can tweet us on @GorillaSA. Gorilla spelled with one R and two L's, and we will read them out. We do love interacting with our audience.
Shreyas Iyer of the Delhi Capitals. He is just 27.
I love that you're mentioning the franchise he plays for.
Parnell this time wide outside the off stump and cut away by Kishan for 4 runs. Emphatically played there.
Yeah, so Parnell's going for a few runs this over.
Yeah, he started well, and it's gone a little after a good start in this over. Though the first 6 we put down to bad fielding rather than bad bowling. This time, big appeal from Parnell, but I suspect there's a tiny bit of an inside edge there, which made the appeal a little bit stifled. The score is now 62 for 1 with 1 ball left in the 7th over. The run rate 9. What will India be targeting here, Ravi?
I don't know, but they're going for it even after the power play, which suggests they're not following their usual tactic of just sitting back for over 7 to 15. So it will be interesting. I think they want to get 180 at least, but I don't know what their target is.
Short, slower ball this time from Parnell and paddle down towards fine leg for 1 run by Kishan. That brings an end the 7th over, and India 63 for 1. Yeah, I would think that with a scoring rate right now, with pretty much the 1/3 of the innings done, they'd be looking for 180/200 or somewhere in that region. That might be a big.
They took 12 off that Parnell over, and that was after the power play. So it shows that they're not giving up. Yeah, so they want to get 180.
Yeah, India could be targeting that 180/200, which would be not insurmountable, but a tough chase for the Proteas under lights.
Yeah, we have Tabraiz Shamsi, as you predicted, coming into the attack.
Shamu.
Oh, don't say that. That makes him sound like a whale. Shamu the killer whale.
There's reason behind what I've said.
I thought we were not fat shaming here.
Tabraiz Shamsi, very, very good T20 international career. He's played 48 matches, 57 wickets, an economy of 6.75, which is phenomenal at this level of the game. 2 4-wicket hauls. He will be bowling left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Kishan, who's 31 from 26. He's batting very well so far. And Shreyas on the other end is 1 from 1.
We're not fat shaming, but I could look like Shamsi in those clothes, which is saying a lot.
Shamsi over the wicket, turns away from the left-handed batsman, played towards the sweeper on the offside, and it will be 1 run. Shamsi, very interesting bowler. He mixes it up very well with both with his variation and his pace. Very very smart bowler, and he uses different pace and different lengths very well to keep the batsman guessing.
Yeah, he'll have to, given he's such a liability in the field, and he's not a great batsman. Well, he's hardly a batter at all. So he's got to make it all up with his bowling.
Shamsi outside the leg stump this time, and the batsman's attempted a flick, but it's actually just a wide ball, and they've taken a run.
Well, I mean, Shamsi is also part of the kind of new wave of left-arm wrist spinners, isn't he? Because they seem to be gaining prominence of late, particularly in T20s.
Yeah, it's not something we've seen sort of 10, 15 years ago, but they're coming into prominence in the modern game. Shamsi over the wicket to the left-handed, Kishan who defends it back to the bowler for no run.
We have a tweet from Josie Oak giving us his customary "You're doomed."
But who? We're representing both India and South Africa. And if you just say you're doomed for anyone.
Vavan is actually correcting me because I is now the captain of KKR. Anyway, Shamsi over the wicket, and Kishan plays him down towards the long off, and they pick up a single. So most wickets in T20 National since 2021 from the top 10 ICC teams, we've got Hasaranga with 45 wickets in 24 games and Shamsi 36 from 23 games. Next closest is Josh Hazelwood, who's a bit of a distance off them. Shamsi around the wicket to the right-handed Aya, who smashes him into the crowd for 6.
That was a proper hoik. That was a proper
hoik that's gone over sort of Kyle Corner's head into the big crowd, and that's a 6 runs. Shamsi's just missed his length there a bit, and he's fetched.
Yeah, and left arm leggy is never going to be as effective against a right-handed batsman, is he? Because he's generally turning it into him.
Shamsi
preferred to bowl to the lefty.
Wicket here and defended. It was pushed into the offside. For 1 run. Rabada, the sweeper on the offside, picks up the ball, and it's 1 run. Takes the score to 74 for 1. 1 ball left in the 8th over. There's been 7
Ray PMB tells us
so far.
Ray PMB 9 tells us Tahir, Shamsi, Rabada, Norfir, and Jansen is a good bowling lineup. Of course, it is. It is. But,
South Africa blessed with good bowlers. Shamsi, very short there, very, very short, and sort of pulled in front of square towards mid-on, or long-on, where David Miller does the fielding. 1 run. The batsman will be upset with himself that's all he's picked up from quite a rank ball.
Yeah. Is Jansen playing in this game? I didn't think he was.
Jansen is not playing in this game. He is in the squad.
Right.
Shamsi's first over 12 runs there with only 1 dot ball. He is in the squad. South Africa blessed with good fast bowlers, and I think with South Africa generally, it's more of a case of who do we leave out rather than who do we have to pick. Because they're all so good.
So Parnell is
you
in
wouldn't tell
instead
it
of
by
Jansen.
looking at this squad. That brings to so far there's been 10 extras in this innings of 8 overs, 75 for 1, and next into the attack is Dwayne Pretorius, the all-rounder from Johannesburg, who bowls outside off stump. It's cut away behind square. Wayne Parnell tries to get around but cannot do so, and that brings up 4 runs. Interesting about Dwayne Pretorius, Ravi, is he has a BCom in a counter, which is the same undergrad qualification I had. He was
Guerrilla Cricket SA is completely packed with accountants, isn't it?
Yeah, a good couple of CAs, myself included. Pretorius again around the wicket to the left-handed, over the wicket actually to the left-handed Kishan, and that brings up one run. A lot of us in the group. Dwayne Pretorius was studying at Pot University and was very badly injured and decided to study a BCom in accounting just in case this cricket thing didn't work out for him. And he graduated with a BCom in accounting, and he made the cricket thing work. So didn't need to fall back on his backup plan.
Well, not yet, at least. What happens when he retires?
Pretorius over the wicket to the right-hander. It's driven into the offside. Temba Bavuma does the fielding, and there's one run. That takes Shreyas Iyer to 9 from 4. India 81 for 1. 3 balls gone in the 9th over.
India's run rate has actually improved after the power play. This is frightening stuff for South Africa. It looks ominous.
Yeah, they're up to 9.53 now. Pretorius into Kishan, who is 39 from 32. He plays it into the offside, where Rabada again does the fielding at the sweeper region, and they bring up one run.
This is part of the problem with India. They have such a depth of batting talent, even without 4 or 5 of their best batsmen. They can still put out a team that will, well, score 200.
Yeah, absolutely. Dwayne Pretorius this time over the wicket to the right-hander. Shreyas Iyer drives it well into the offside. And again, the sweeper does the fielding on the offside boundary. 1 run to Shreyas Iyer takes the score to 83 for 1 with 1 ball to go in this 9th over.
I don't know if India's bowling stocks are quite as good as South Africa's, but in batting, they've definitely got.
If you could put India's batting stocks with South Africa's bowling stocks and have a cricketing nation, I think that'd be unstoppable. Full this time from Dwayne Pretorius, way too full, and it's absolutely smoked back past him for 4 runs. If Dwayne Pretorius tried to get a hand on that, and I fear if he did, he would have had a broken few fingers there.
India have scored 12 for the last 3 overs after the power play.
Ravi, I think that prediction of 200 might be looking a bit small here. If they carry on at this rate, I think they might be looking at 210, 220.
Yeah, well, at this rate, definitely. It surprises me, but it might be what you said about young people having that X factor. There's no Kohli, there's no Sharma. They've got a young team. They've got Pant coming in next. Well, not next, but after. And these guys are just batting without fear. They don't care where the fielders are.
Yeah, just hitting it hard enough. Shamsi into Shreyas Iyer this time, who double steps him and heaves him back for 6 over long on. Again, really, really good shot from the batsman, but a little bit, he's missed his length there, hasn't Shamsi?
Yeah, slightly, but again, as I said, the problem is
fantastic batting. Absolutely fantastic batting.
Yeah, and Linux Lear says, hello everyone. Kishan looks a bit anchory for my taste.
Well, yeah. Everything about that Shreyas Iyer shot, his footwork, his handwork, everything was phenomenal. This time, Shamsi's a bit wider on the off stump, and it's missed time by Shreyas and sort of trickles back to the bowler for no run. 2 balls gone in the 10th over. India 93 for 1. Projected total point is 199.
Josie Oak tells us that accountants will be the first against the wall when the revolution comes, together with the lawyers and politicians. So that's told you, I need.
Shamsi into Shreyas Iyer, and it's a replay of the first ball of this over, smoked back over his head and over long on for 6 runs.
Whoops, Shamsi's proving really expensive.
Yeah, not good from Shamsi. Fantastic batting from Shreyas Iyer, 22 from 8 balls so far. He is all over the South African attack.
Should they be bringing back Maharaj for this period?
Yeah, I'm not sure that Shreyas is the best bowler to be bowling with an onslaught like this. Shamsi straighter this time and defended into the leg side, or pushed into the leg side towards mid-wicket. Shamsi runs and does the fielding himself, just one run there. That brings up the 100 for India with 2 balls left in the 10th over. They're now batting at over 10 and over, and 200 looks too little at this point. They should be aiming a bit higher than that.
Well, yeah, but 1 wicket will tell us if that's the case. If South Africa get the wicket. And as Leah points out, Kishan is batting like an anchor.
Shamsi a little bit straight this time and played it in towards the short third man region by the left-handed Kishan for 1 run.
We're changing at the end of this over, aren't we?
Yep, last ball of the 10th over, and that will bring an end to our stint in the commentary box. Shamsi into the right-handed Aya, who plays it towards long on, and that'll be 1 run. That brings to an end our time on air, Ravi. It was great commentating with you, and I will see you guys on the back end of the second innings.
Yeah, I'll
Great
see you in the
stuff.
second batch. So thanks for being with us, and enjoy the rest of the match.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Waid. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Tsepo. Great stuff there from India so far. You have to say they are looking ominous for South African fans here, as I'm joined by Ruud. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me? I'm just not quite sure with these headphones. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. Loud and clear. Are you streaming or are you watching live?
I'm streaming.
Okay, so am I. So we'll just sync up. If you don't mind taking us through on ball by ball.
No
So,
problem at all.
10 overs have been played in this first of 5 T20s for South Africa's tour of India. Last 5 overs going at 66 for 1. Current run rate is 10.2, and the last 5 overs 13.2 runs per over. So India are absolutely rocketing along. Shreyas Iyer 24 of 10 and Ishan Kishan 45 of 35. And their partnership already 45 runs off 3.4 overs at a run rate of 12.27. And if you've just joined us, Rutaraj Gaikwad was caught by Bavuma, bowled by Parnell for 23 of 15 balls after hitting 3 sixes. And he went in the 7th over with a score on 57 for 1. Since then, these two have just continued the momentum for India. 102 for 1 is the score at the moment. And there's a bit of a break in play. So we're just waiting for Liam as well to join us. And looking forward to these next 10 overs. South Africa need wickets, Ruud.
Yeah, definitely, especially Shreyas Iyer. I mean, he's just absolutely taken Shamsi apart, and he's our main wicket taker. He's the man that gets us out of these positions, and Iyer's just come out and hit him all over the park. So we need to do something. I don't know what, but we need to do something.
Yeah, it's wickets, eh? It's been. Would you say there's been a bit of wayward bowling, or is it just these Indian batters taking the attack to the bowlers and taking their chances and getting reward for aggressive play?
Well, I think it's definitely the Indian batters batting well, but we've also, South Africa have bowled a lot of wayward deliveries, and the fielding hasn't been great either. So it's a lot of good batting, but as well, it comes down to not hitting our lines and lengths and the fielding not good enough.
Yeah, 1 catch going down already. It was quite a difficult chance, and it did seem like it was a flat ball that Dwayne Pretorius couldn't quite keep up, as we see Keshav Maharaj into the attack. Yeah,
he just bowled it onto Shreyas Iyer's legs and Shreyas Iyer just works it down to cow corner for an easy single. Yeah, with Shreyas Iyer, Pretorius's drop catch, it was definitely not an easy chance, but on this level, you definitely expect him to take chances like that. Just went straight through his hands. It was absolutely smashed, but you would expect to take it as Maharaj back in And Kishan looking a bit uncomfortable as he works this into the leg side, and Stubbs does the cleanup work on the long on boundary, and they take a single.
So Shreyas Iyer now on 25 of 11. Kishan moves on to 46 of 36. And thank you very much, Ray PMB, for the comments coming in on YouTube. You can join Ray there.
No!
And
The cock has just missed a stumping. Shreyas Iyer going down the track, Maharaj beating the edge of the bat. It's lovely turn, and the cock just can't take it, and he misses a stumping.
that's
on a good length, turns a lot, beats Shreyas Iyer's outside edge, and the cock just can't grab the ball. He misses the stumping. Oh no, as this one's just worked again into the gap by Shreyas Iyer. He wants to, he won't get it, he'll just get one. But how costly is that going to be?
Yeah, that was a very bad mistake there by QDK. Hopefully he doesn't miss the next one. He's just got to get it out of his mind as we see another replay here, completely squared up the right-hander, and the ball bouncing over the off stump, and the batter, the right-hander, Shreyas Iyer, scrambling back into his crease, and De Kock there lifting his hand in apology.
As this one is smashed into the foul corner boundary for 6 by Ishan Kishan. 2-4 from Maharaj, and it's a slog sweep for 6. And that is also Ishan Kishan's 50, his third T20 50 in his short international career so far.
Absolutely cracking shot there by Ishan Kishan, 52 of 37 deliveries. And he has been absolutely devastating.
But it's straight up in the air. It's gone again, and it has dropped in between 4 fielders, and nobody gets there. And Ishan Kishan lives to fight another day. The top edge as he tries to slog sweep again, and it's fallen between 4 fielders. End of the over, 10 from it. The score 112 for 1.
Everything is coming up Team India at the moment. They are dominating South Africa here. As Ray PMB says, SA are a batter light, and De Kock isn't a good keeper of spin, he says. I've seen him miss a lot of stumpings. I've also seen him execute them quite well. He had an excellent IPL behind the stumps, took some blinding catches, some absolute screamers behind the stumps. But let's see. I mean, it's a tour of India, so you need a keeper that can do the job for the spinners. So that's 11 overs gone, 112 for 1. Kishan on 53 of 38, Shreyas on 26 of 13. In the last 18 balls have yielded 37 runs at a run rate of 12.3 for India.
As this one in from Pretorius, out wide outside off, Ishan Kishan misses the cut, and it just goes through to the cock for no run.
Now, Dwayne Pretorius' figures in the match so far is he's into his second over now. He's conceded 13 runs and only bowled 1 dot, an economy of 9.7. So he's also been very, very expensive in that first over.
As he's coming in again to Kishan, this one just worked into the offside to point for a single, and Kishan gets himself off strike. The score moves to 113 for 1.
India are just waiting for those bad balls. Liam, good to see you. How have you been? Wonder if Liam can hear us, but we've got him in the feed here. You see a replay of that slog sweep that took Shreyas Iyer and Ishan Kishan, their partnership. Also now 57 runs.
Dwayne Pretorius back into Shreyas Iyer, who just works us into the leg side for another single down to long on. He moves his tally up to 27 or 14 deliveries. As we see there, Ishan Kishan's, he's 54.
What have you thought of
14.
the...
No, I just wanted to say most of Ishan Kishan's runs have gone, he's been able to get them through the third man area as he goes down the track and tries to smash this down the ground, but it's one bounce into the hands of David Miller, and he just gets a single.
Yeah, that one wasn't quite hit hard enough for South Africa's liking there by Kishan. He's looked really good. A couple of chances to to get his wicket, but other than that, he's just been smashing it to all parts as we see some highlights of his innings so far. 9 fours and 1 6, 55 or 41 he is.
As this one from Pretorius to Shiraz just works it again down the ground for another single. This over so far only conceding 4 runs, so good over for South Africa. Can they finish it off though?
Yeah, Kishan and Iyer rotating the strike, not finding the boundary quite yet in this over, so long may that continue for South African fans. As we've got another comment here, Ray PMB9 saying, hi, Liam Hemsworth. That's I'll take that from you, Liam.
And this one in from Pretorius, full on Ishan Kishan stumps, and he smashes it back to Dwayne Pretorius, who just blocks it, and they scamper through for another single. The score 117 for 1 after 12 overs. Pretorius none for 17 in his 2.
Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody, for listening, and keep your tweets and comments coming in. We do appreciate that. Yeah, it's tough going here for South Africa. First 12 overs of the tour haven't been great.
No, definitely not. Gonna have to somehow just get. As this one is absolutely smashed into the ground by Ishan Kishan. Another 6. This one a bit straighter down the ground, not as much towards Kyle Corner, but in between Kyle Corner and long on. Great cricket shot from Ishan Kishan. And he moves on to 26 or 43. Oh, what a cricket shot. Just another slop shoot by Raj to 4 as he's in again. And again, Ishan Kishan rocks back. And this one again in the same spot. But off the back foot, another 6, 2 in a row. Maharaj feeling the pressure now. What can he do to jump back into this game?
Yo, what a 6. Damn.
Yeah, almost broke his own back as he swung everything at that one. That was an amazing shot.
Very, very good shot.
Right
he rocks
out of the
back
middle of
into
the
his
bat.
crease. Instead of going on the front foot, he goes onto the back foot this time and absolutely smashes it. The Indian fans are very, very delighted
looking
with
for
that.
the ball.
As Maharaj now changing his action, coming around the wicket. And he goes down the ground this time for another 6, or it might just be 4. I think it's just a 4. But Keshav Maharaj changing his action, coming around the wickets. But still, that does not stop Ishan Kishan, who just absolutely smashes us down the ground, flat for 1 bounce 4. The score 133 for 1 as Maharaj in again to into Ishan Kishan, still staying around the wickets. What can he do? He goes wide outside off, and it's again just smashed down the ground for another boundary. And Anrich Nokia can't get there. That is a very, very impressive shot from Ishan Kishan. This over already conceding 20 runs in just 4 deliveries. What can South Africa do to come up with a reply for this?
I think Maharaj just a bit too full at the moment. He did get some turn in the first over he bowled. He opened the bowling for South Africa and got some turn, but all that seems to be out the window.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just feel he's bowling a bit too quick and too full, just not giving it enough flight. Maybe if he gives it a bit of flight and encourages Ishan Kishan to maybe go for it, well, then again, he is just smashing everything. But what can you do to stop Ishan Kishan? Maybe bring a pace bowler back into the attack to maybe see if you can get a wicket that way. As Maharaj in again, this one on full on the leg stump, and he's given him LBW. A Yorker delivery, full on leg stump.
And they went for the review.
Ishan Kishan going for the sweep, missing it completely. Anything saving him here is impact outside leg.
Yeah, I think so. Jordan Makubu says, slow start for the boys as always. Since when did we consistently start so slow? Now, it's been the past 15, 16 years, I think, that we've had trouble getting our ducks in a row before we get into a series, especially the test matches. Let's see the replay here.
It looked like it was
There's a big deflection off that. And
Bat.
this will be given not out, as it is hit the bat on the top half of the bat, and it's just gone on to the foot. This will mean the RBW is out of contention, and it is just a dot ball, which South Africa won't mind at this stage. Anything other than a boundary is good for South African fans.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And good review. Kishan obviously knew he had something on that.
No, definitely. As
Definitely.
Maharaj, final ball of the over, full again, and this one smashed down the ground to long on, and it's taken. Tristan Stubbs takes the catch at long on. A very, very good catch. Maharaj going full
What a
straight
catch.
and quick, going full straight and quick. And Ishan Kishan can't get the elevation to go over long on, and it's a very, very good catch from Tristan Stubbs on the boundary. India 137 for 2 after 13 overs. Ishan Kishan gone for 76 or 48.
That was a must-needed wicket.
Yes, he was caught by... Yes, absolutely. Thank goodness for that. And caught by Stubbs, bowled by Maharaj for 76 was Ishan Kishan, 48 balls he faced, 11 fours and 3 sixes, a strike rate of 158.3. And a very good partnership there for India, with the score already on 137 with the second wicket down. And they've got 7 overs to go to try and set the score here. After South Africa won the toss and chose to field first, so they obviously have an easy chase. Now to the crease comes Rishabh Pant.
No, this is an interesting call for me.
Yeah.
I know they probably wanted to attack, but I would like to hear your guys' opinion on maybe sending in Haradek Pandya at such a good IPL season at number 4. Maybe sending him in instead of Rishabh Pant, who had a rather poor IPL and couldn't quite get the ball away. What's your guys' view on that?
No, maybe it's his lucky day today. I don't know. Maybe not. You never know.
As we see Kagiso Rabada coming back into this
Could be left-hander for left-hander.
Yeah, definitely. But Kagiso Rabada coming into the attack. Temba Bavuma sensing the opportunity to get more wickets, as Shiraz just blocks this one for a single, and it's almost a run-out chance. People falling over each other, trying to get the ball to the wickets, but in the end, Rishabh Pant gets home safely.
Yeah, he had a bit of a collision there with Kagiso Rabada on his follow-through. He went across the pitch to the onside to try and get to the ball. And the man from mid-wicket running in, trying to get the stumps down, misses the run-out chance there.
And this one from Kagiso Rabada down the leg side for a wide. Not good enough from Rabada, bowling the slow ball, but it's too wide down the leg side, and it is given wide. And it was funny, the previous delivery, seeing how Rishabh Pant collided with Kagiso Rabada and then going into Tristan Stubbs as well. He just wants to have a fist fight and try to run everybody out the ground today. As Rabada in again to Shiraz goes down the ground and it's just dropped short of David Miller. One bounce into the hands and he just gets it back into the bowler. 1 run. Shiraz not going through with the shot. I think it was another slow delivery from Rabada. Threw the shot way too early. Very, very good bowling from Kagiso.
I would just say bring Miller in like a slight bit, like 2 steps in, and nothing will take. That would be a catch, actually.
Yeah, we've seen that second ball that went down on the bounce to him there at that fielding position, but the way the Indians are striking the ball,
you rather want to be
like waiting for a mistake, like waiting for a miss. As we see now, they've got point and square leg on the boundary, and now they do seem to have brought that mid off up for the left-hander facing.
This one from Kagiso Rabada across the left-hander gets an inside edge down to fine leg for an easy single. South Africa going with a field of having a long on and then a deep square leg, deep point, and a fine leg and a third man, which obviously suggests they want to go short to these batsmen, trying to get them on the hook, seeing as how they've been playing the full ball very, very well. Rabada again to Shears Eye, and this one completely beating Shears Eye, missing the outside edge. Very, very good delivery by Rabada. Just beating the outside edge of Shears Eye. Very, very good bowling.
Yo,
Yeah, that was a snorter.
close. Yo,
This over so far from Rabada, only conceding 3 runs as he goes into Shears Eye, who hits this over the top of mid-off. No, Bavuma won't be able to chase it down. It's a 2 rounds 4. Shears Eye giving himself some room and just absolutely slapping this over the top of mid-off for another boundary. This over so far now conceding 7. Very, very good shot from Shears Eye.
As we have a tweet from Leah. Thank you so much, Leah, for listening. She says, well, let's wait at least until the second innings to see if SA get their ducks in a row. Possible hat-trick is on the cards. So I'm not sure who Leah is supporting in this match. I think she lives in Germany.
As this one again down the leg side, short ball from Rabada, and it's another wide. Just straying a bit in his lines and lengths. Not quite getting the line length he wants.
Now we're just seeing a replay again of that mix-up run-out wrestling match that they had there close to the wicket. What a mess.
And Rabada finishing off his over. This one just pops a bit on Shears Eye, and he's just has to get his hands off the way. It does catch an edge, but it drops short of points. And it is another dot ball for the over. Only 8 runs from the over, so good over for South Africa in the context of the game. Score 145 for 2 after 14 overs, and Rabada's figures 9 for 21 after 8 overs.
Yeah, there's seemed to be a little bit of a slowdown here after that wicket in that Rabada over, so that's a good sign for South Africa if they can pull it back. Right now, the run rate's 10.3, so India's still on course for a 210, 220 score. They'll be very disappointed if they don't get that, eh?
No, definitely.
South Africa is out with the bat today. Yo.
They definitely won at least 210, 220 with their the start they got and the small field. And knowing that South Africa are a few batsmen short, going with the extra all-rounder, they know if they can get a few early wickets and put some pressure on South Africa, just going to hurt them even more. As you see, Anrich Nokia coming back into the attack. His figure so far, 9 for 22 in 2 overs, and he's into Rishabh Pant, goes full, and it's just clipped to the leg side for an easy single. Used to, of course, know each other very, very well from playing together in the IPL, but very, very good friends as far as I know.
Yeah, I know the guys are
enemies now.
They know each other so well. And Anrich Nokia, one of the more expensive bowlers. His first 2 overs going for 22 runs.
As we see now, Shears Eye facing up to Anrich Nokia at the top of his run-up, running into Shears Eye. And he goes for a good length delivery, and this one is just worked down the ground again from Shears Eye for another single. So South Africa is somewhat containing the Indians at the moment, just sort of slowing the game down a bit, taking their time a bit more, and trying to get the Indians to play to them and not playing towards the Indians' game plan.
Jordan Makubu on YouTube asking, is there newly found speedster playing? So that would be, I forget his name now, guy who had that awesome IPL, the 150 plus bowler for India.
Avish
Khan, yes.
As Nokia into Rishabh Pant, who just cuts this down to third man for another single. So good over so far from Nokia. 23 singles. Can he finish this off or maybe even get the wicket of maybe Shears Eye or even Pant?
I would like to find out about you guys about Brevis. I mean, what if the Proteas sign him up for the team and maybe him, Quinton de Kock, opening the batting for South Africa?
As Nokia coming back into Shears Eye, back of the length, trying to work it into the leg side and to dot ball for Shears Eye. The score 148 for 2 after 14.4 overs.
Because I mean,
Yeah, so Avish Khan is playing. He's in to bat at number 10, but definitely he will be more useful for India with the ball. Yes, Jim.
I just think because that would be a nice combination. Because I think those two will be hitting the living daylights out of their teams if Brevis and the Cock opens the batting for us.
As Nokia comes back into Shias Io, pulls this towards wide-ish long on where Temba Bavuma does the cleanup work, and they only scamper through for one. I would have Devil Brevis maybe going into a number 3 or 4 position, seeing as you want him to take on the spinners. In the IPL, he was absolutely demolishing the spinners, but struggling a bit against the pace. So if you can get him in overs 7 to 15, where all the spinners are bowling, and you could get him to hit all the spinners for 40 runs, that will be more than helpful. As Anrik Rokia back into Rishabh Pant, who just pulls this to deep square leg for another single. That's the end of the over. Score is 150 for 2 after 15 overs, and that over only conceding 5 runs.
Great work there
Projected
from
scores are
Nokia.
coming down.
What a comeback.
Very,
The
very
projected
good.
scores are starting to decrease a bit now. Geez, the most expensive over 20 runs. Yo.
As we see, India
We
still
have
have
been
5
hammered.
overs.
Line.
India still have 5 overs to bat. Seeing the South African bowlers, Nokia and Rabada still have 1 each. We assume they'll finish the allotted spell. We assume Wayne Parnell will probably finish off. And yeah, we see him come back into the attack now. And we then Temba Bavuma still needs an over from either Maharaj, Shamsi, or Pretorius just to finish off those allotted overs.
Yeah, so that must be Pretorius because as Anis is saying, yes, spinner's taking some tap. Anis Mohammed on YouTube, one of the commentators that will be with us during the series, and I think is uploaded today.
Rishabh Pant comes down the track, and it's a slow delivery from Wayne Parnell, and Rishabh Pant can't quite connect, and he just hit it straight back to Wayne Parnell, and it's a dot delivery. So we see next in for India is Haradek Pandya and then Dinesh Karthik, as this one is hit straight down the ground for 4. A very, very good shot from Rishabh Pant. Another it's a Yorker from Wayne Parnell, and Rishabh Pant not quite following through with the shot, just tapping it straight over the head of Wayne Parnell. And it's an easy boundary for Rishabh Pant. He is first.
Yeah, he's a dangerous player when he gets going, Rishabh Pant. So
yeah, definitely.
South Africa will hope that they can get his wicket sooner rather than later.
As Wayne Parnell back into Rishabh Pant. This one's shorter, and Rishabh Pant trying to just work it to third man, getting a bottom edge, and they scamper through for a single where Wayne Parnell tries to play some soccer and get the wicket, misses, and that is just an easy single.
Yeah, the strike rate is not as good as when Kishan was at the crease. The partnership now 18 runs, run rate of only 7.2 in the last 2.3 overs.
Very, very good. Is this over so far? Only going for 2 runs. As Wayne Parnell coming into the attack to Shreyas Iyer. And tries to absolutely smash this over the top of Cow Corner. Gets an inside edge onto his pad. Another dot ball.
Jordan Makubu says, I meant Umran Malik.
Umran Malik isn't playing today.
Okay, so he's not there today.
Hopefully he will make his debut in this series because he's a very, very good talent. As Parnell coming back into Shreyas Iyer, a very good Yorker, and Shreyas Iyer just hits it into his own pad, tries to run down the ground. Parnell kicks the ball to the stumps and just misses. I think Shreyas Iyer would have been found wanting there a bit.
Great work there by Parnell. didn't have enough time to try and pick it up and flick it onto the stumps. The batsman was almost next to him when he.
Oh, he
that
would have
ball.
definitely been gone.
Yeah. No, he would have been out by a mile. The last time
far.
Punt was at the crease, he made it, but Shreyas Iyer would have been gone. Gonski.
As for our final ball of the over, this one just hits the top of Shreyas Iyer's blade and is just hit towards Keshav Maharaj at a extra cover region. It's scampered through for a single, and it's a very good over from Wayne Parnell. Only 6 from it. Score 156 for 2 after 16. And India have to find some sort of way to get the scoring back on track here.
Now, Wayne Parnell has bowled 3 overs now for just 19 runs, and he got a wicket, bowled 10 dots. So he's head and shoulders above the rest of the South African bowlers at the moment. Thank goodness we got him in the team.
As we see, Temba Bavuma does turn to Dwayne Pretorius, sensing that the spin has been leaking a bit of runs today, and turning to Pretorius, telling him, just give me one good over so I can get our 3 frontline spinners, 3 frontline seamers to just end this off for us. Well, what do you guys expect from this over? Do you think India are going to take it on, seeing as this is probably the weaker of the 4 overs to come?
Could maybe attack us, but if Pretorius keeps it tight, I think it would be a quite good over.
As we see Dwayne Pretorius coming into Shreyas Iyer, coming over the wicket. It's full, and Shreyas Iyer tries to wake this over the top of Kyle corner. He misses it, and Dwayne Pretorius bowls Shreyas Iyer for 36 of 27. Shreyas Iyer just trying to smash this as hard as possible, lifting his head and going through the shot way too early, and Pretorius gets his first wicket of the tour.
Great work there, Dwayne. As Shreyas Iyer was bowled by Pretorius, played on 36 runs off 27 balls, 1 4 and 3 sixes at a strike rate of 133.3, repeating.
That almost looked like a kind of a cross seam delivery kind of ball, like just nipping back a bit.
Oh, yes. Scrambled seam and caught the seam on the pitch back onto the off stump. Beautiful work.
As we see Haradek Pandya come to the crease. I don't quite know when last he played international cricket. I know he had a big injury, but it's good to see him back in Indian colours. Hopefully he can, Indian fans will be hoping he can take his form from the IPL into this tour and absolutely make the most out of this opportunity.
Now, both sides have a lot of players that played IPL and a lot of players in both sides that did well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the batting goes for South Africa today. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially wanting to see David Miller as Pretorius into Haradek Pandya, just works us into the leg side to Tristan Stubbs on the car corner boundary, and it's just a single.
I would just like to see Quinn and QDK just to just smash the hell out of them, just to open it back for us, get about a 60 run, or no, not 60, but 50 runs in the first 6 overs maybe, and just from there.
Oh, that'll be
because
great.
we need a good opening partnership if we're going to win this game actually at this moment.
Yeah, the score already close to 160. 3 overs and 4 deliveries to go.
As Pretorius back into Rishabh Pant to smashes this over the top of the bowler for 6. Just carries all the way. Rishabh Pant just the back of a length delivery, hanging back in his crease, and just smashes this over the top. 6 runs, very, very good shot, and just what India needed after those few very, very tight overs from South Africa and the wicket.
And it was a bit of a slower ball. I mean, 122 Ks.
That's Pretorius' normal pace.
That was read like a book by Rishabh Pant, the slower delivery and punished.
Yeah, very, very, very good shot from Rishabh Pant. As we see a change in the field, square leg comes into the field, comes into the ring. Extra cover moves to a point, and point moves to a very deep sort of a third man point-ish more of a like a square gully position on the boundary. As this one from Dwayne Pretorius, wide outside off, just going a bit too wide, wanting Rishabh Pant to reach for it and hit through the offside, but it's just gone too far and it's a wide delivery.
With Dwayne Pretorius searching for that wide Yorker line, but missing it completely. I'm not sure that Shreyas Iyer did get an inside edge. I think that ball just hit the inside edge onto his stump.
Yeah,
was it?
I think it did.
What?
I think it did. As this one from Dwayne Pretorius, Rishabh Pant winding up and really trying to smash this. It's wide outside off again. Rishabh Pant hitting himself off his feet, completely missing it. You can see he wants to go to the long on boundary. And Dwayne Pretorius not giving him the width or the line to do that, telling him, if you want to hit me, you're going to have to hit me through the offside. And it is another slow ball. So very, very good bowling once again from Dwayne Pretorius.
No, the off
Part of
cutter.
a scramble seam as well, off cutter.
Well, it would have been an off cutter to the right hander, right? Yeah.
As this one from Rishabh Pant, Dwayne Pretorius going again wide outside off, but a bit shorter, and Rishabh Pant just gets enough on it to beat David Miller at long on for another 4. So although the wicket has been, they took the wicket in this over, it's already gone for 12 runs. So South Africa need to somehow just get the scoring rates under control. Oh, it's gone for 6. Never mind. David Miller just going out full stretch, couldn't do it, and it's gone for 6. So 14 off the over with still another ball to go. What can Rishabh Pant do? Can he connect? We know they've still got Aksa Patel and Dinesh Karthik in the shed, so he can just go for it. As Pretorius into Pant again, and this time over the offside, pass into the deep cover region for 4, beats Kagiso Rabada on the extra cover boundary. And that is another 4. 18 off the over and a wicket. The score 174 for 3 after 17 overs. And our Pretorius figures 1 for 35 and 3.
Geez, what an end to the over with a good start by Pretorius, but just not managing to string a good over together again. And he's now bowled 3 overs for 35 runs with that 1 wicket, 11.6 economy rate, only bowling 3 dots, 3 fours and 2 sixes hit off his bowling.
So Parnell back in
18 run
attack.
over, hurting him.
This is an interesting ploy. Not keeping Parnell for the final 2 or even the final over. Telling Parnell, we want a wicket, we need a wicket, we need Hartik or Pant. Get me this wicket. We know Rabada and Nokia can do it. Pavuma thinking very, very positively, wants the wickets, not waiting for Parnell to bowl the final over. As he is into Haradek Pandya, full delivery outside off, and Haradek Pandya just works us into the cover region to deep extra cover. They should get through for 2. No, they don't. They only get through for 1. Rishabh Pant turning Haradek Pandya down for the 2nd.
South Africa fighting back here with Parnell. He's the most economic bowler. If he can give us a 6 or 7 run over here, that'll be great. With Dwayne Pretorius getting the wicket, but just searching for that wide Yorker line and getting absolutely smashed by Rishabh Pant.
I've personally never liked bowlers going for that wide Yorker line. It feels very negative cricket, and you can't really control it. As this one from Wayne Parnell, full toss on the legs of Rishabh Pant. He tries to whip it over Kyle corner, and he's very furious with himself because he only gets a single. He knows he should have hit that for 6. Very, very furious with himself. But coming back to, I feel bowlers should always try to get the wickets, not go to the wide Yorker line, because it's such negative bowling and anything can go wrong. Ball can just slip and then you've got no protection on the leg side or just takes an outside edge. I've never been a fan of very, very negative bowling. That's what I've liked about Parnell. He's gone for the wickets. As again, this time goes across the right-hander. Haradek Pandya tries to swing at it and it just completely misses it. Goes through to the cock, a dot ball. This over so far, only 2 runs after 3 deliveries.
So this is what South Africa need.
Very, very good from South Africa, especially from Parnell. This is great from Parnell. First time coming back in T20 since 2017. So very, very good comeback for him so far in this T20 as he comes in again to Haradek Pandya. This one full on the legs of Pandya, missing his Yorker, Wayne Parnell, and this is just clipped by Haradek Pandya for another 4, 1 bounce 4. But now searching for the Yorker, not quite connecting. I'm not quite getting it right. And it's just 2-4. And Haradek Pandya says, thank you very much. I'll take 4 runs.
His timing is just amazing. Haradek Pandya, as my favorite pun of the IPL so far in the history of the IPL, Kung Fu Pandya, they had up on the screens there.
As this one smashed from Haradek Pandya from Dwayne Pretorius. Haradek Pandya leaning back in his crease once again, and this one just smashed over the top of long on for a big maximum. That's Haradek Pandya's first maximum of the game. And all of a sudden, a 2-run over goes to 12 runs with 2 balls. 1 ball left in the over, the score 186 for 3.
Haradek on 12 of 5 and punt 26 of 12. So they are really putting foot to neck here for India. South Africa don't seem to have an answer to this onslaught.
Yeah, no, don't at all. As Dwayne Pretorius, final delivery of his allotted spell, and it's full on the legs of Haradek Pandya. He just clips it too long on to Rassie van der Dussen for 1. And the score is 187 for 3. That over going for 13 runs. Rishabh Pant on 26 of 12. Haradek Pandya on 13 of 6. With 2 overs left to go, Dwayne Pretorius' spell is also concluded. He's bowled 4 overs, 1 wicket, 32 runs at an economy of 8 with 11 dot balls.
And this partnership now, 37 runs off exactly 2 overs. And it's 18.5 run rate.
And South Africa have 9 minutes remaining for their 2 overs, as this one from Kagiso Rabada straight up in the air from Haradek Pandya. Oh no, never mind. It's a big 6. It just looked like it went straight up in the air, but that is a massive 6 from Haradek Pandya. A big 6 straight down the ground over Kagiso Rabada's head. And the first ball of the 19th over is 6 runs. And India already on 193.
One guy's going to think it's going to be the chasing score for South Africa.
Well, the good thing is we've also got a bat on this deck. It's a very good batting deck, small field. As this one from Kagiso Rabada on the legs of Haradek Pandya, he tries to whip it but misses it.
Ooh.
And it is leg by, 1 leg by for India.
194 for 3 now is the score. So India still looking on course, even though they had that little dip after Ishan Kishan's wicket. They still look good for 210, 220 now.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
even
think-
230 if they really
Yeah.
go for it. As Kagiso Rabada into Rishabh Pant, this over conceding 7 so far. It's a very good delivery from Kagiso Rabada going across the left-hander, just inside the wide line of the off stump, and Rishabh Pant can't quite connect or do anything with it. It's a dot ball, very crucial for South Africa.
Yeah, as you said, Rit, that's a negative line and length, but it seems to be the only option that South Africa have at the moment, because everything else is going out the park.
Definitely. As Rabada again into Rishabh Pant, again the same delivery, not as wide, a lot closer to the wickets, and it's worked into the extra cover boundary for 2. Very good shot and very good fielding from Tristan Stubbs on the boundary. As I said, there's a comment on YouTube. Jordan Makuba says, Miss Bjorn, Markram or Linda bowling up front was our problem today. Do you think maybe an over or 2 if we had Linda or Fortain or maybe even Markram up front, would it have helped? As Rabada again into Punt, very a slow ball bouncer. It is a wide going over the top of Rishabh Pant's head. So Rabada, very smart ploy, but not quite executing it properly, and it's just gone too high. Score 197 for 3 with 2 overs left in the 19th.
Yeah, so on that point, we see 70 runs coming off 5 overs of spin from Keshav Maharaj and Tabrez Shamsi. So I don't agree. I don't think that spin was the way to go today. Well, the bowling card says spin wasn't the way to go today.
Rabada goes full and straight to Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant is straight on the ground for a single. This over so far conceding 11 runs with 1 ball left. The score is 198 for 3. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Maybe if Markram bowled 1 over up front, India would have been a lot more cautious, seeing as it's the first over of the game. Maybe they get the 1 over in and they don't have to bowl an extra over of Maharaj at the end that went for 20 runs. But either way, Markram had COVID, so nothing you can do. As this one, a very, very good delivery from Kagiso Rabada, full and straight. A beautiful Yorker, well executed, and Haradek Pandya somehow gets some bat on it, and it runs down off the edge to third man. Very, very unlucky from Kagiso Rabada. An excellent delivery. Dug out by Haradek Pandya. Hits it through his legs with an edge, and Kagiso Rabada not very, very impressed with that. 4 runs, and that over conceding 15 runs, and that is also the 200 up for India.
Lucky shot.
Very lucky. Rabada now has bowled his 4, conceded 35 runs without a wicket, 8.7 economy, which is not too bad considering what's happened to the other bowlers. Him and Wayne 4 overs. Wayne 4 overs, 32 runs and a wicket. So by far the best bowling figures for South Africa at the moment. 1 over to go, 202 for 3. How many can India end up with here? They must be looking at a 225 score now with the way things have been going.
Especially with Rishabh Pant on 29 of 15 and Haradek Pandya on 23 of only 9 deliveries. And it's Nokia bowling has gone at 9 and over. So Rishabh Pant with pace on the ball, anything is possible. A few edges as Nokia into Pant, wide outside off, and it's smashed over the top of cover, but it's straight into the hands of Rassie van der Dussen. And Nokia picks up the wicket of Rishabh Pant. Short, wide outside off. Rishabh Pant tries to just smash it over the top of deep extra cover, but Rassie van der Dussen says, "Thank you very much, I'll take a catch." And Rishabh Pant goes for 29 of 16 deliveries.
Maybe we can chase 210, maybe.
That would be phenomenal. I think that will be one of the highest scores that South Africa have scored in recent times. Yeah. So Rishabh Pant caught. Yeah, absolutely. Caught at deep extra cover by Rassie van der Dussen off the bowling of Anrich Nortje for 29 of 16, 2 4s and 2 6s with a strike rate of 181.2. Score is 202 for 4. 5 balls to go.
I don't want to be funny,
Dinesh Karthik coming to the crease. His form in the IPL has been rewarded with an international appearance. He did very, very well for RCB in the IPL. Finished phenomenally at a strike rate of 190 at an average of 50 plus. So what can Haradek Pandya and Dinesh Karthik do to South Africa and Nokia in these final 5 deliveries?
I don't want to be funny, but I like his helmet is way different than the others. It's quite nice, actually.
Yeah, it's got a sleek look to it.
Yeah, it looks different.
As we see Dinesh Karthik's T20 career, 399 runs at a strike rate of 144, best of 48 in only 33 matches. So we know he can hit the ball. We've seen what he can do in the IPL. But the big question is, can he do it here tonight? He stands deep in his crease, both feet inside the crease. Anrich Nortje wide outside off, and it's missed by Dinesh Karthik. Very, very good delivery from Anrich Nortje. Dot ball. This is exactly what South Africa needed, not what India would want.
Yeah, wicket and a dot. Perfect start to the over by Anrich. So let's see, 4 balls to go. And Karthik.
As we see,
no run
Anrich
yet.
Nortje coming back into Dinesh Karthik. He steps across his stumps, and it's a great Yorker on middle stump from Anrich Nortje. They scamper through for a single to short middle wicket and almost a run-up from Rassie van der Dussen. A top Yorker. Dinesh Karthik moving over to the offside, almost losing his stumps. Great Yorker from Heinrich Nokia, and it's just somehow he digs it out to short more wicket, and they have to scamper through for a single and Haradek Pandya on strike, and it's missed by millimeters. Rashi van der Dussen to get the wicket of Dinesh Karthik.
Must say that was a good shot. Good Yorker, good shot actually. No, I must say.
And just to confirm, this is the highest team total so far in T20 internationals at this venue. So South Africa, if they are to get this, they'll get the new highest score. So it's going to be not going to be an easy chase, as we see this is already the highest score with 3 balls to go. Heinrich Nokia into Haradek Pandya, wide out off, and Haradek Pandya just smashes this over the top of mid-all for 6. Very, very good shot. It's not even a bad delivery. It's a good length delivery, and he just smashes it over the top of mid-all for another 6. The score moves to 209 for 4. 2 balls to go. Haradek Pandya on 29 of 10.
Geez, strike rate of almost 300 for Pandya.
If we can get 2 dot balls, we can chase 210.
Yeah, that will be such a relief, such a refreshing relief for South African fans if the batting unit that's out there today can get that sort of score. But I'm feeling extremely nervous at the moment. I don't think we're going to be able to chase this, given our recent form.
Haradek Pandya deep in his crease. Good delivery from Nokia. Very, very full. Good Yorker delivery. And Haradek Pandya, all he can do is work it into the deep boundary to the mid wicket boundary, and they don't take the single because they want Haradek Pandya on strike for the final delivery. So we'll see if that was a wise decision. 1 ball to go. The score 209 for 4. India will be hoping for a 6. South Africa for a dot. This over only conceding 7 so far. Last ball, Nokia into Pandya. He goes full, and it's just 1 at the moment. Can they scamper through for the second? They will come back. Is it a run out? No, they get back for 2. Very, very good running. A great Yorker from Nokia to finish it off. Haradek Pandya digs it out. It's it straight down the ground for 2. The final score for India is 211 for 4 after 20 overs.
I was close enough.
Sure. What a performance by India. Hope that for South African fans that the players can stay calm and just concentrate on their jobs. We know we've got the talent to do it. I mean, we've got the players that have scored big runs in this format. They've just not fired at international level, and I don't know. I'm a bit.
I mean, if we can, it's somebody like David Miller who did it for Gujarat Titans in the IPL. I mean, we need the Cox in good form with the IPL. David Miller's in good form. Bavuma, I don't know quite. I'm not quite sure of Bavuma. We know Tristan Stubbs can hit a long ball. Van der Dussen can hit a long ball. Pretorius is handy with the bat. So we need to somehow just get a good start up front, bat long, bat hard, bat through, and just keep protecting the strike if we can't get any boundaries.
And just a good partnership, that's all.
Yeah, that'll be great. So, yeah. Thank you so much, all the commentators so far. We're going to be playing one of the Full Quota podcasts here during the break, in conversation with Dane Patterson, who's doing well for himself and gave us some insight into his playing career. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Ruud. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Cheers.
We'll be back for the South African chase as soon as it starts. It should be 20 minutes from now or around there.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thanks.
See you later,
guys.
Cheers, guys.
And hello, and welcome to new season, Tim. I'm not sure if you want to call this the new season, but it is a new season of the Full Quarter podcast with myself and Bomutlani, as well as Tim Del Lace. It's going to be another jam-packed season of cricketing discussion, everything else, and we've got an incredible interview lined up for you to start it off as we go into the new cycle. The new financial year of CSA started at, I think, at the end of April, and so we're all moving down. Let me introduce my co-host, Tim. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yes, I think we can call this season 2. We've had at least 2 weeks break, if I'm not mistaken. We needed a refresh. We needed a bit of a break from the constant podcasts. But yeah, all ready for the what's new and the different things we're going to be giving you going into the next couple of months.
Yes, Tim, that's very true. And so now, obviously, we've got a great interview lined up for you. But for those who are wondering about when we're going to talk about what's been happening at CSA, the news that came out today, we will be doing that tomorrow. So just do watch out for that. We're just going through everything, just making sure that we don't want to do because the problem about a reaction that's very fresh is that sometimes you just miss certain things, so a certain angle. So we're trying to see what the best angle is, and we're going to try and give you our thoughts as well as what we think is going to happen going on. But we've got a really, really awesome guest for you. I'm not sure if he's doing it from his home county now or his adopted county, but we have Protea bowler, fast bowler Dwayne Pretorius here to discuss his career and his current playing situation at Nottinghamshire as well. He took 10 wickets last week or a couple of weeks ago, so we're all excited here because Tim does this. Tim always just watches South African players. If you're a South African player, he'll watch you. And so I've been hearing a lot about when you were taking your 8 wickets in that one innings. That first innings, he kept on sending me messages, and I was like, "Dude, I'm at work." But let's keep on going. The message to watch.
Good on Tim.
Yes. So, Dane, we'd like to say thank you for spending some time with us. Are you in your home country? Are you in Nottinghamshire, or where are you right now?
Yeah, I am in Nottingham. We just finished off some training, so the boys are off to Lords. Unfortunately, I'll be out because I pulled up with a back spasm. So yeah, I could have gone, but don't want to jeopardize a team where I could be bowling my first over in the first inning. All of a sudden pull up, and then we're in a great position. We're basically playing another team in form, Middlesex. They on top of two, leading by a couple of points. So if we could come out with a positive result, it will be good for us.
Yeah, so then you've had a really great start to the season. Then you've taken about 18 wickets so far this season. How are things that side? I think it's not your first time. It's your time around.
A bit easier because I think last year I had to learn, basically get to know everybody, learn the conditions. So I was basically busy on the field with training, and then obviously off the field, getting to know.
Give me a second. I really have to charge my phone. Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon and welcome. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good night, I suppose, if you're in India. Welcome back to the second half of this broadcast between South Africa and India in the first T20 International. My name is Coach Dave. Alongside me is going to be the smooth sounds of the GOAT himself, Tsepo Taylor. TT, it's great to be back with you on comms once again. You'll hear my microwave ding in a second here, but great to be back with you once again.
No, I can't agree more, David. Doug's buddies, as we like to be called.
Yes.
And South Africa have a mountain to climb here, and hopefully they will. South African fans will be hoping. Temba Bavuma is opening the batting with Quinton de Kock, and Quinton de Kock coming off a very good IPL campaign. A lot of South African batters, in fact, so it could be a very interesting game on a very small field.
Positive stuff indeed. Don't forget, you can always tweet us at GuerrillaSA. That's GUERILLASA. That's on Twitter. Come find us. YouTube, we're on there. Go give that video a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button. Ding the bell. We're always happy to see you, to be back with us once again. It's been a very cold winter, but the South African cricketing community is back behind the boys in green and gold. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is going to open the bowling, and he will begin the innings by going to Quinton de Kock. He passes the umpire now right arm over the wicket, and Quinton de Kock slashes this into the covers and finds a man to cut that one off. Quinton de Kock, left-handed. Temba Bavuma, right-handed. Tsepo, what have your thoughts been around South Africa's operation in today? I don't know if it's Tsepo or myself that is the one lagging.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you hear me?
TT, is it you or I that's lagging?
It was a slow start with the ball.
Difficult times indeed. Bhuvi Kumar back in again, and this one straight onto the stumps. Line of length, off stump. Quinton de Kock defends it, and they'll get through for first runs of the day for the men on the southern tip of Africa. It is a true pleasure. I am thrilled. I am like pumped. I'm psyched. I'm really excited. And there's the ding for the microwave. Don't worry about that one. But we are pumped, thrilled, excited, enthralled, thrilled, all the good words. We are truly bursting at the seams with excitement to be back bringing you South African cricket once again. There is much T20 cricket coming up in the next little bit. There's obviously this 5-match series. South Africa then tour the United Kingdom whilst playing England and the Irish, squeezing that one in there in the middle. And then there's a World Cup that is not long for us ahead. This one cuts back into Temba Bavuma and catches him high. Wrong foot, Rishabh Pant, the Indian captain. And that means there's going to be 4 leg buys there. Good grief. That was not conventional in the slightest, but that
We seem to have a bit of an issue with our feed here at the moment. Yeah,
everything went on a go slow there, but that one just cut back in off the seam, hitting Temba Bavuma on the hip, wrong footing Rishabh Pant, who's making his way down to the left.
Fifth ball of the over now to Bavuma.
Can you hear me?
Clips this to backward square leg for a single, and the score is 6 without loss. 1 ball to go in the first over.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
Well, that's because you're the Oz master. That's why you have such wonderful skills and Wi-Fi, it seems, because Tsepo and I are wallowing in the basement of the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I don't think it's any of
Wi-Fi
us that's
signals.
having a problem. I think it's our streaming provider that's having a few issues, along with maybe some connectivity from the outside. But yeah, that's the first over done. 7 without loss. Bavuma on 1 off.
Play wickets for India.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bhuvi Kumar's got the most wickets in the power play. So Bhuvi Kumar, like I said, he's got the most wickets, and that'll excite the Indian team here. And I think the South Africans will be excited by Temba Bavuma and Quinton de Kock. I think more so Quinton de Kock having come off a good bit of form in the IPL, as my esteemed colleague Tsepo Tyler has pointed out to us. Otu, you look like you got a warm fire back in the background there at the Simon Palace.
Yes,
Keeping
indeed.
warm.
Yeah, waiting for the start of the second over. Target is 212 for South Africa to win. The Cock is there on 2 of 3. He's going to face
Certainly.
Avesh Khan.
Yeah, it's certainly a steep task here for the South Africans.
Avesh Khan puts this one outside off stump, and
Quinton de
Quinton
Kock just doing a bit of gardening, managing the facilities, as you might say. Avesh Khan, right arm, fast medium, coming from the old clubhouse end. 3 matches, just the 2 wickets so far in his 3 outings, and he'll want to improve upon those stats. Yeah, he goes to Quinton de Kock, right over, and it's a ball that nips back, or straightens rather, into the body of Quinton de Kock, who just bats it up the wicket to him. And he's only played 13 matches as Avesh Khan, so still a youngster, relatively so, in terms of T20 cricket as a whole, but certainly has made an impact. Somebody who India are giving a go here today. There's a 5-match series on offer here, which is not common in any format for the South Africans. This one just going across Quinton de Kock. He smashes that out into the cover square of the wicket, but again finds a man in the kind of squarish cover region.
That's maybe a tale of two Quinnies here. Quinton Cox, after scoring that massive 140 not out, I had single-digit scores. But that's the thing with Quinton de Kock. He's either in long or he's out early. So, South Africans will be hoping for big runs from QDK.
Yeah, he's got this talismanic feel about him, does Quinton de Kock. He's certainly somebody who can change the game very quickly. He's on 2 from 5. He faces up to Avesh Khan. This one takes a bit of the glove, and a fingertip save there by Rishabh Pant. And I think there's a bit of a confirmation about whether or not he got the glove on it. Did Quinton de Kock? He didn't. It's signaled as a wide. And so they'll get some runs. They had 9 without loss, and we have yet to see the 3rd ball of the 2nd over.
It's looking like both sides struggling with the bowling early on in the power play, only with the control, conceding a lot of runs early.
Absolutely. So there's a packed ring field. This one is flicked up over the onside. What a shot, Temba Bavuma. Great use of the wrists there. Just set up nicely for him. He's flicked it away off his pads. And 4 runs, sir.
Very good from Temba Bavuma. Many people say he's a test match batter, but he does have the class and dispatch balls to the boundary, especially off the pads like that. Very, very good shot off the
It's
pad.
a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful shot. Effortless, really, from Temba Bavuma. Now they've put a man out at deep square and fine leg, as well as the 3rd man outside. So it's going to be an interesting response here from Avesh Khan. Like I said, he's young. Temba Bavuma, not so. He tries the flick paddle here, does Temba Bavuma, and he gets it wide of that fine leg who came into the ring, and it's another 4. Back-to-back boundaries here for South Africa's captain, and he moves to 9 from 5. After 1.4, South Africa 17 without loss.
It's all placement here from Temba Bavuma. He's not really powering it over the boundary, and that's what this field gives you here. It gives you lots of value for your shots. The ball races to the boundary, gets there very, very quickly. We saw that in the last innings as well. The ball's very difficult to catch, especially when they're flats and fast. So lots of speed.
In once again.
And, placements will definitely get
you
some runs.
Yeah, this one's just tucked away off the hips of Temba Bavuma, and he'll get just the single there that takes him into the double figures rather. And there's now the 10th run, or the 11th run rather, from the over, because there was a 1 to go along with that wide on the 3rd delivery. So 1 ball remaining in this one. Good stuff from these two, taking the youngster on.
definitely choosing their best African batters here, just to up the run rate a little bit. Keep the
Pitched up,
scoreboard
and this
ticking.
one's chipped over the offside rather. Temba Bavuma can only enjoy that shot from the non-striker Zenus Quinton de Kock. Just chipped that over the inner ring. One bounce for. There's 11 runs so far in terms of their scoring rate. So good stuff from the South Africans. They're just ahead of the required of 10.5. After 2 overs, it's 22 for no.
South African starting in the same vein that the Indian team started with. Lots of runs coming early in the power play. We saw very, very fortunate runs, but runs nonetheless for India. And South Africa say that whatever you can do, hopefully we can do the same.
Yeah, it's
another thing
something
also to
that
note, South Africans batting second here. The rate at which games... please go ahead, Dave.
No, please jump in.
Oh, Lag City.
Yeah, Lag
yes,
City indeed.
batting second. It's very much easy. The rate.
We can't seem to find it. Bobby Kumar
is
is on strike now. He's bowling, and it's a not ball. Yeah, I think there's about a 5 or 6 second lag between the two of us. And Tsepo and I are in the same time zone, in the same city, in the same continent. There is no doubt that the internet gods have not favored us today. Nevertheless, we power through. Bobby Kumar just with a dot to start that first ball of his second over. He goes once again now to Temba Bavuma. This is caught the edge, and I think he's got him. He has. South Africa's captain falls. It's a simple edge. He's just hung the bat out there, and he's just left it lagging out there. His shot was a lag, and South Africa now 22 for 1.
It's definitely the pick of the bowlers here for India in the first two. He's proved very difficult to score off, and this time Temba Bavuma falls. Good field placement as well to make the edge stick, and there is the first wicket for South Africa. That's Temba Bavuma. He falls after scoring 10 at a strike rate of 125, caught by punt of the bowling of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar.
Yeah, they were just having a look at that dismissal once again. The soft signal was out, but you can clearly see the edge, and a great catch by Rishabh Pant to dismiss his colleague in the opposition. South Africa's captain Temba Bavuma must cross the boundary hoardings, and that will be the first wicket. So South Africa struggling. Well, will inevitably struggle, because what happens when wickets fall is that the scoring rate just falls through the floor.
Indeed. South Africans will be hoping to keep the pedal on the metal as the next batter comes in. Don't forget, you can tweet us at Gorilla SA as Pirate Badshaw does. He says, "Ahoy! Lovely to be listening to you, or for the first time, and it's lovely to have you. Don't forget, if you want to be shouted out, tweet at Gorilla SA. You also take tweet at OneWorldSR.
Yeah, absolutely. An absolute dream to bring you every single moment of every single game of the South African cricketing summer. Obviously, it's the winter at the moment in South Africa. Nevertheless, we will bring you home series, away series, World Cups, you name it, we're there for you. And we are privileged to be with you. It's Werner. He's joined us. He's our third time's a charm. Dwayne Pretorius now at the crease as what would presumably be a pinch hitter. He comes now, faces this one high on the pad there from Bobby Kumar. Stifled appeal. He seems unimpressed, but I mean, Dwayne Pretorius is not exactly 5 foot anything. So, he'll be okay. Well over the stumps there. And Werner's muted just because he's going to be a silent partner in this endeavor. Right, there he is.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Privileged to be with you once again, Werner. I must say, I am enjoying commentating during daylight hours.
And
This one's off the back foot. Pretorius punches this through the covers. It's going to race away to the boundary. Lovely
It's very
shot.
much
Just
a
getting
vibe,
up
but,
on his
we're
toes.
talking about
Smashed it. 4 runs. Varna, I think Tsep was the one lagging here.
Yeah, I wouldn't
think
call
that
Dwayne
may be
Pretorius
the
a
case.
pinch hitter, Dave. Oh,
Yeah, I do think that Chepo is the one lagging. I think in this way they are extending the batting lineup a bit as well.
Okay. There's a lot of all rounders in once again, driven away through the covers, but squared this time, and so finding a man.
Yeah, it looked a man short if you looked at his batting lineup without Aiden Markram there, only batting till Stubbs, and then the all-rounders, Pretorius 6, Main Pardal 7. So setting him at 3 does make sense to me, just to extend that batting lineup a little bit. And we did see him do the same type of role for the Paul Rocks, I believe, in the Mzansi Super League very effectively.
Now that's a throwback. Mzansi Super League. Haven't heard that name in a while. But yeah, it's something to think about. South Africa 26 for 1. This one is guided softly, but picked up by backward point. So they won't get anything for it. 4 runs and the wicket from it. At the end of the third, South Africa 26 for 1 as they chase 212. And this first T20 international of 5 in South Africa in India.
Yeah, it's a massive score to chase. 200, over 200. The outfield is fast and the boundaries are small, but the pitch isn't that good. I did see quite a few gripping when the South Africans were bowling, especially the slower deliveries. The spinners got some purchase as well. Maharaj unlucky to miss out on that one wicket that Quinton de Kock missed a stumping. But still plenty in there for the bowlers if they do change up their pace. So it's not going to be an easy run chase. It never is when it's such a big total, but it's important to capitalize on the power play. And with Yuzi Chahal coming in early in the power play, they can't let him settle in here.
Yes, Yuzvendra Chahal, leg break bowler, 68 wickets to his name in 55 matches. Best of 6 for 25, an economy of 8.19 is certainly a handy one. And we know, Werner, that more often than not, in the white ball formats of the game, spinners tend to do well. It was a horror day for the South African spinners. He comes in again, squares up Quinton de Kock, squeezed out off the leading edge, and there's a scampered single there, and everybody gets home safely. So South Africa now 27 for 1.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Dwayne Pretorius approaches this. He hasn't always looked that effective against the leg spinners, but he does enjoy a good slog sweep. So we'll see if he uses those long levers of his to good effect in the power play.
Yeah, absolutely. If he can get his hands on that hard new ball that will certainly travel in at this ground, you can imagine that he could get very, his strike rate could rocket away like Haradek Pandya. But the thing that's in favor of Pretorius is that the ball is still new and hard and will travel a lot further. Well, presumably so. Chahal in again. Slip in place, and he's absolutely launched that over cow corner. It's got about 20 rows back. 6!
Did I call the slog sweep or what? He loves that shot.
When you're good, you're good, mate. Absolutely. What a shot. Just clearing that front leg and hammering it multiple rows back. Bowler's name, Fetch.
The Proteas are going to require a lot more of this. So yeah, but it's good to see Pretorius coming in with that intent that's required. Chasing over 10 and over, almost 11 to the over right from the start is no easy task. So they are going to need as many boundaries as they can.
No, it's certainly not a simple task. That one going 89 meters, and that rockets Pretorius to 10 from 5 in Delhi here. Chahal in again. And that one turned a little bit, and so Pretorius had to hoik it across the line, but the man at deep mid-wicket is able to comfortably cut that one off. He goes to 11, does Pretorius. South Africa 34 for 1. Werner, something that kind of was made evident to me in the Indian batting innings was the fact that this outfield is good enough that if you beat the fielder guaranteed boundary, but you're not going to get a lot of twos. So they are, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. This one is pitched up and a little bit flatter out the wicket, and so de Kock just knocks that into the onside for a dot ball.
Yeah, the outfields in India are always lightning fast. So just get it through that infield in the gap and it will race away.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chahal in again. This one has Quinton de Kock sweeping. It's up and over the man at fine leg. It's going to go a couple of bounces into the boundary. It's innovative from Quinton de Kock. He recognized that the man at fine leg was in the ring, and it was really just a chip. It wasn't so much as a full-blooded sweep shot, but I suppose that's the nature of Quinton de Kock. He never really hammers it from a sweep shot. You know that the bats these days are good. You just kind of bunt it, and it goes a lot quicker and a lot further than usual. This one is short and smashed away. That will go towards the boundary as well. It's back-to-back boundaries. It's been an expensive over from Yuzvendra Chahal. 16 from it. South Africa after 4, 42 for 1.
Yeah, such an important over this one for South Africa to get them back into this run chase. Interesting decision by Rishabh Pant, the newly appointed captain for the series in the absence of Kaya Rahul, to bring on Yuvi Chahal in the power play. He generally doesn't enjoy bowling in the power play. He's a lot better outside of it. So a very interesting call from Rishabh Pant to go for him. And South Africa really laid into him there, this over getting us right back into it.
Yeah, and you just look at those scoring comparisons, Werner. You see that South Africa are ahead in that first power play, but it was in that second power play that India scoring just shy of 70 runs in overs 6 to 10. 66 for 1 they were at the end of the 10th, so doubling their score in the sequential the subsequent over sequential. Right, so conversation now. Bhuvi Kumar is going to begin his third with his captain Rishabh Pant, and there's a discussion around fielding placements, but it looks like there may be a bowling change once again because India wanting to maybe keep Bhuvi Kumar just for that back end side of things. Now it's Haradek Pandya, the man who absolutely bludgeoned the South Africans to all corners of the ground. 31, I believe it was, from 12 deliveries.
Yeah, Haradek Pandya just going on with his good form from the IPL, laying into the bowlers who really missed their lengths often and were made to pay on this small outfield.
Absolutely. Pretorius now will be the man to face up. Lengthy run up here from Pandya, is running all the way from the edge of the circle, which is a certain distance. That one has Pretorius wide outside the off. So I'm trying to slog it over the long on region and then not connecting anything. And so it's a dot ball up front. And Mursa Bas is saying, de Kock 100 on the cards. What do you think, Werner? Is that reality? Is it a possibility? Or is it just hopeful thinking for South Africans?
How about the Pretorius 100? I'd love to see that. But yeah, it is always on the cards with Quinny. But as long as it gets us off to a quick fire start, I'll be happy. We have the likes of David Miller and Tristan Stubbs to come.
Oh, Tristan Stubbs with 100 here in the back end. Beautiful.
And obviously Rassie van der Dussen.
Yeah, that'd be a dream debut for Tristan Stubbs, a young man who comes into today's side on the back of an Aiden Markram COVID scare. In again now. That's short and hammered away, up and over, fine leg. That's gone all the way for 6. Just helped it on its way. 6!
Yeah, just helping it along the way, as you say. They've maybe a bit of a top edge as well, but he utilized Haradek Pandya's pace very well. Just getting inside the line of it, just swiveling with the line. Very well played. I think I'm doing a bit of a disservice. He played that very well. Did Dwayne Pretorius doing exactly what he was sent in to do out there to look to strike the ball big.
Yeah, definitely. Now 2 6s and both coming from Dwayne Pretorius. I stand to be corrected before that, but 6 4s for South Africa as they head to 48 for 1. Required just under 11, and they're going at just over 11 at the moment. We are in this wonderful stadium here in Delhi. South Africa 48 for 1 as they chase 212. It's full and smashed away. It's another one. It's big. It's 6.
Massive shot by Dwayne Pretorius. That moves him up to 23 of only 9 deliveries. He's come in as a pinch hitter and he's totally fulfilling that role.
Done the job.
Yeah, he's done his job already. He's taking the bowlers apart, putting South Africa ahead of this run chase. Now up to 54 for 1 after 4.3 overs.
Werner, the key is that he's taken on the new man with the ball. Every time it was Yuzvendra Chahal who's the victim, and now it's Haradek Pandya, not allowing bowlers to settle. And what that does is that puts doubt in the mind of the young captain Rishabh Pant. A wry smile from the wicketkeeper batsman captain. It's a trifecta of responsibilities for him today, but that now is the third 6. And if Pretorius puts on another 20, I think job done for him. He goes now again and has a wild swipe over that one, looking like he was teeing off at Leopard Creek, not connecting at all in that instance. So 2 balls remaining in the 5th, 54 for 1.
Yeah, I often thought that Dwayne Pretorius wasn't used very well in a batting aspect for the Chennai Super Kings in the IPL. He often came in at 8 or 9, wasn't really used as well as he can, because I do still see him as a batting all-rounder who can strike it really big. So good to see South Africa using him up the order to strike some lusty blows.
Brave type of cricket here. This one is hoiked. Miles, it's gone. It's gone. It's 6. What a shot!
All the way over deep square leg. Pretorius racing along, just slugging Haradek Pandya across the line. He has no answers. That moves him up to 29 of only 11 deliveries, using those long levers of his, just getting underneath the ball, knowing very well that with these small boundaries, if he just gets it any part of the bat, he'll get it over the boundary for 6.
We saw in the previous 6 that not this one, but the one prior to it, that the Indian fans were celebrating that they've got the ball. They don't give it back. I wouldn't, because I don't want to fetch it again. It seems to be the case here. 18 from this over, 1 more remaining. Let's see who will have the last laugh here. Pandya again. It's a short one, and Pretorius ducks underneath it. There's a small question, and of maybe that was wide, but no interest from the umpire at square leg. That is the end of the 5th, and South Africa after 5 flying along here. 12 to the over, 60 for 1.
Yeah, they are flying along. Very good final delivery there by Haradek Pandya. Surprise bouncer for Dwayne Pretorius. You see, he was in no position to play the shot. He wasn't expecting it. It's a good surprise bouncer. But still, 18 runs of the over. Dwayne Pretorius setting the mark here. He's on 29 of 12 deliveries. Quinton de Kock was looking on the other side. He's on 15 of 10. And they are bringing in Harshal Patel, who has picked up loads of wickets for RCB in the IPL, and has also started very well for India. He has that magnificent slower ball of his. He's got very good change-ups.
Yeah, Yuzvendra Chahal was a man who was at RCB, and now Patel has an opportunity to shine the light brightly there for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, for the Indian men. Right arm around the wicket. Here he goes. This one is line and length, top of off, and Quinton de Kock just dabs it into the turf adjacent to the playing strip, and they'll get 1 for it.
Mr. Bass saying a pinch hitter in T20, there's no such thing. Here's James Bond. He's got a license to go for the kill.
If he's enjoying, if Dwayne Pretorius is enjoying it that much, can you imagine the fun that Tristan Stubbs might have? He's had a wonderful domestic T20 season, has young Tristan Stubbs, but more to that, he's doing the Warriors proud by joining his colleague Anrich Nokia. I can't think of anyone off the top of the head that is also from the Warriors in this national side. Nevertheless, Pretorius is facing up. It's a full toss. He's been bowled. Oh, my word. Pretorius, he was 29 from 12, and he missed a slower full toss. And Tsepo Taylor's commented, big brain move to bring Pretorius in early. He's been striking at 150 plus in T20s for some time now. It's failed. Not necessarily failed, but it's come to an end.
Yeah, it hasn't failed. It worked perfectly. He's out to that exact delivery I was describing from Harshal Patel. Even though it was a full toss, it's one of those dipping slower balls. he's way too early into the shot. Is Dwayne Pretorius to see if it all ends up. He does get Dwayne Pretorius, but he's fulfilled his role to perfection. 29 of 13 deliveries, utilizing this power play to good effect. Still 4 balls to go in this power play. South Africa are 61 for 2.
Yeah, not really hogging the strike or eating up anything in terms of strike rate, which allows a guy like Rassie van der Dussen, who's just loving life with white ball cricket since he's really started. I mean, he hasn't yet had a tremendous dip of form. He's got an experienced campaigner alongside him. He's no noob, is Rassie van der Dussen, spending his time plugging away at domestic cricket before finally getting a look in a couple of years ago. But these two have got good heads on their shoulders. There we go. I'll eventually learn how to speak English. On their shoulders, and it can certainly help South Africa continue with this rout of the Indian bowlers. But T20 cricket, Werner, is such that you can think you're succeeding and then immediately you fall backwards and collapse.
Yeah, that's true. And with a total as big as this, they can't stop for a moment. They need to keep going, keep the momentum going. So far, Rassie van der Dussen has played 34 T20 internationals. He's made 933 runs at an average of 38 and a strike rate of 130 with 650s. He, of course, had that splendid innings against England in the World Cup. That, by the way, was the last match that South Africa played in the T20 format, where he made 94 not out.
And absolutely, he would love to get anywhere close to that. This one is a length delivery and banged in. He just tries to guide that behind backward point and thinks about a quick single, but politely declines. He wants more of it in terms of the strike. Rassie van der Dussen, like you said, striking at 130 is not bad, but it's not great. I think South Africa have lamented, particularly in white ball stuff, the winnowing strike rates in terms of batters getting things moving along. And again, and this one is on the knee roll of Van der Dussen, just tucks that onto the onside. No run.
Yeah, strike rate of 130 is not going to cut it today in the chase of close to 12 and over. So a strike rate of closer to 200 is required here. Interesting to see stats come up of the IPL on the screen. An international match showing that Rassie van der Dussen didn't have a fantastic IPL, but he hardly got a chance, and he also batted out of position. So not much to take from that, but he has been excellent for South Africa.
Right, here we go. This one is full and seaming into Van der Dussen off of that Patel delivery, keeping quiet the South African number 4. Yeah, you do point out an important thing, and I think that's the nature sometimes of the IPL, is that unless you're one of these monster superstars, you tend to be a man who plugs gaps rather than bats where he feels most comfortable, and so sometimes your performances don't always reflect your skill. This one again back into the right-handed Van der Dussen from Patel, but too high to go over the stumps. End of that over, and South Africa are 61 for 2 after 6.
Yeah, fantastic over by Ashraf Patel, doing exactly what his captain would have asked of him, getting the crucial breakthrough of Dwayne Pretorius, and also only conceding 1 run of that over, ending the power play on a fantastic note for India. South Africa 61 for 2. Van der Dussen just joining the cock, yet to get off the mark 4 dot delivery straight up. The cock is on 16 of 11, and he will be facing the first over after the power play.
South Africa 61 for 2, but a slight stem in the tide after that over. It was massive overs, double digits from South Africa, nigh on 20 back-to-back overs, and then it was that Patel over with the wicket of Dwayne Pretorius, which meant that South Africa had to slow down just a bit. But I mean, 4 balls is certainly not an eternity at the crease without a score, but it can seem that way for the men in green and gold, particularly in the white ball side of things. This one means Akshar Patel is now in the attack, left arm over the wicket, and he just tucks that away off his pads, does Quinton de Kock. Take him to 17. South Africa 62 for 2. Noor Zali saying, inshallah, will this win the South Africa? So I presume he's a man who's supporting South Africa. Or maybe he's a Pakistan fan who just doesn't want India to win.
That is a real possibility. Seeing Harsha Patel just getting some attending to his finger off the field. He had a bit of an issue with it at the IPL as well.
Right, left arm round the wicket this time to Van der Dussen, who just bunts this up the wicket for a single. And like you said with Harsha Patel, it's something that they certainly will be concerned about, not panicked, but maybe concerned about in order to make sure that he's fit, fighting and fresh for not only this series, but that all impending World Cup. Left arm over the wicket to Quinton de Kock, who tries to slice this away to that point region. No run.
Yeah, Akshar Patel has been a force for India across formats in the last couple of years. He loves to dart the ball in.
In again now and tucked away off Quinton de Kock, who's running hard. He looks like he wants a second, but he's not going to be able to get one. Great bit of fielding there in the deep. A little bit of a fumble there by Rishabh Pant, but no damage done there. South African required run rate is 11.1, whereas current is 9.6. And it shows how quickly in this format of the game, Werner, that things can spike and trough. And it's like a toddler's sugar. It can be terror one moment and excellence the next. This is a reverse sweep from Rassie van der Dussen. A couple of bounces and just picked up there at deep backward point for the single.
Yeah, Rassie van der Dussen is really going to have to get going quickly here. You can't eat up too many balls, especially with somebody like David Miller still to come, who's been in fantastic form of late. Rassie will really need to start going here. They can't let this required run rate get out of hand.
This one's short and cut away. There's a man that is covering there down there in the deep. He's had to do a lot of legwork to get round. Easily collected in the end. It's Chahal who does the fielding, and they get through for 2. And you can see there was a ball boy there, or one of the youngsters who are there to collect the ball or return the ball to the players, cheering with great elation behind Chahal. So we know who he's supporting, no doubts there, but good to see some local support both on and off the field.
Yeah, it's so fantastic to see all the spectators in the stands. They're allowed to be at full capacity, unlike us here at home, still a bit behind the times when it comes to the spectator allowance. But fantastic to see so many people coming out to see international cricket back in Delhi. South Africa behind the 8-ball here, the home side really dominating so far. That Dwayne Pretorius innings just giving a bit of momentum, but it's being sapped away again in the last couple of overs, and they need to start going now.
Tremendous pleasure is drawn from the Indian fans, or from the Indian players when India does well. Chahal in again, short and cut away, but not really finding the power that he wanted, did Rassie van der Dussen, and no real pace on it as well. So Chahal, 16 from his first over, but now he's bowling to the fresh Rassie van der Dussen. Much better line and length. He tries to squeeze this away through a back foot punch off that off stump, but not going to get anything for it.
Rassie is eating up too many dot balls here. Every dot ball is spiking up that required run rate.
Yeah, there is zero room for error. This one is a straighter delivery this time. Not much turn offered there, but Van der Dussen not able to find a gap there. And he'll certainly be feeling the frustration, Werner, because he knows, like you have so wonderfully mentioned, that run rate is climbing every single ball. This one is a lot more turn on it, and it gives him a bit of width there, and he's cut that away through to the boundary for 4. It's a small consolation in terms of how the last 2 overs have gone, but South Africa really need to accelerate. It's 4 runs.
Yeah, good boundary there from Rassie van der Dussen. A bit of a drag down from Chahal, allowing him to get on top of it. But still, he's only on 6. What is it now? 6 of 10 deliveries. He needs to get going here. As I mentioned, David Miller, Tristan Stubbs to come.
Yeah, this one's just bunted down the ground there and picked up at long on for just the one there. So now you would imagine, though, Werner, Quinton de Kock being the more experienced of the two in terms of his time at the crease today, would need to take the bull by the horns. Current run rate 9.19, not an unhealthy one, but when you think that the required is 11.5, it is a stark reminder of where this game is. India on top, and really theirs to do as they please. Quinton de Kock whips this away out to the onside, and they'll think about a second, but politely decline it, as Chahal does the fielding off of his own bowling.
Yeah, that's also the end of the over. South Africa 73 for 2 after 8 overs. Quinton de Kock is on 21 of 16. Rassie van der Dussen is on 7 of 11 deliveries. Plenty of catching up to do here. South Africa's graph is going down. It's underneath what India were at this stage, just about. And India also finished very strongly through Haradek Pandya. So they can't afford to let this required run rate get out of hand. Anything above 13, 14 and over, it will become a real struggle for them. So they need a couple of boundaries here just to get it back under control.
And we've got just 2 more overs in our stint. It's been an absolute flyer in this first T20 International. You will be joined by Ruud Jacobs, Wahid Vadi, and you are third in command, sir, as Akshar Patel bowls the short and is spanked back down the ground. That could nearly have killed him.
I think he got a hand on it, actually.
Yeah, Quinton de Kock just tapping a hand on the back of the shoulder. They absolutely smashed it. It was a baseball shot, and bit of a goalkeeper save there by Akshar Patel. He's lucky that it's not his bowling hand and more of a parry than a save. And I think there is a tweet, Werner, if you could keep an eye on that, from Linux Leia. I think she's sharing all her thoughts with us, and you can too, as Akshar Patel bowls a full toss and is hammered away to the onside. I think that's gone all the way. Not going to miss out on that is Rassie van der Dussen. It's 6! Lovely shot
fantastic.
there. Lovely shot. It was a full toss. Slipped out the hand, possibly.
Yeah, fantastic shot from Rassie. He needs to capitalize now. He's been in for a couple of balls now. He needs to get going. David Miller is waiting there. We see him clapping in the dugout. Rassie moves up to 13 of 12 deliveries.
Short this time, but a quicker one, which means that Van der Dussen can just drive that out to long off for a single and move himself over to 14 from 13. Quinton de Kock 22 from 17. A lot more circumspect from the South African wicketkeeper than we know him to be, but it's understandable when the result has been all Dwayne Pretorius after the fairly early dismissal of Themba Bavuma. This is a sweep shot, and Quinton de Kock has been caught. He just stood there and hammered it, and all that the man down there at deep backward square had to do was move slightly back, and he swallowed it. South Africa have lost their third. It's 81 for 3 after 8.4.
Yeah, big blow there for South Africa. Quinton de Kock was the one that needed to really strike them big here. He's been in the longest, but he goes out now. So big blow. It will bring the informed David Miller to the crease. Exciting to see how he will go if he can continue with that good form that he showed in the IPL. But still, plenty of work here to do for South Africa. They still need a further 131 runs in 11.2 overs. That it will take some going.
Why not elevate Stubbs? Let him bat. But never mind. David Miller's come to the wicket. I was just trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate there. Nevertheless, we've got the experienced campaigner, the man whose dad tweets on his behalf in terms of his technique changes. Now everybody will know that there is a technique change and will figure it out. But to be fair, he was picked up by Prasanna Agaram, the statistician and video analyst for the Imperial Lions. So not really that foreign. Guys don't necessarily share the weaknesses of their opposition because they want to have an upper hand. Nevertheless, let's go off David Miller's dad's tweet. He walks to the wicket in at number 5. And Werner, like you've said, with nearly 100 matches in T20 international cricket and a strike rate of 140, he's by no means a lost soul in international T20 cricket.
Definitely isn't. Also, holds the equal record for the quickest century in this format.
Just drives that off the back foot. It's a quicker one, but shorter this time. And so he's just punched that away. His IPL this year, nearly a 70 average, Werner. I mean, that is stupendous from South Africa's left-handed legend in the white ball format of the game. This one just punched away off the front foot. So he's just whipped that away, rather. Maybe it's a better word. Guided it away. Long on does the fielding, nevertheless. And he gets one. So end of 9, South Africa 82 for 3. The last man to be dismissed was that of Quinton de Kock, 22 from 18. And he will now have to do a bit of work. Will David Miller? Still Tristan Stubbs to come in the recognized batters, but on a debut game, there's certainly pressure.
Yeah, Leah on Twitter saying Yuzvendra Chahal played for the Rajasthan Royals this season. Of course, he was playing for them for the first time this season. He was picked up in the auction after RCB didn't retain him. And he had a fantastic season, of course. Ended up with the purple cap, I believe, as well. Took plenty of wickets. Him and Asaranga were number 1 and 2, fighting it out for that purple cap. But Yuzi Chahal taking it in the end was again fantastic for the Rajasthan Royals, as we see some phone flashlights being lit up in the crowd.
Are they saying that the field is too dark? This is cannoned away off of the bat of David Miller. It was a cover drive, but a wonderful bit of work in the field there to get a hand to it. My goodness me, does David Miller hit the ball hard. Just have a look at that replay, Werner. He's hit it into the turf, which has taken a little bit of the sting off of it, but it's also a great bit of fielding there by the man at short extra cover to just parry it over the bar. Great goalkeeping. I think if he doesn't make it in Indian cricket, certainly he can think about becoming a goalkeeper for the Indian football side. World Cup this year, but not one that India will be a part of.
And was fantastic work by Shreyas Iyer there.
Right, in again, short, and this one smashed away, but there is cover there at the point region. David Miller seemingly has his radar on for the fielders.
And, you can just feel the confidence oozing from David Miller. You can see it, just his whole body language, the way he's come to the crease. You can see he's got a lot of game time under the belt. He's won a lot of games of late. So you can just see he knows his game. He knows what he's doing. He feels in control. It's important that Rassie van der Dussen really strikes it well from the other side as well. David Miller won't be able to do this alone.
Yeah, absolutely. In again now, and this one is just defended up the wicket. I think even if he doesn't hit the big runs here, Van der Dussen has got to look to give David Miller the strike. Like you said, David Miller's got that swagger about him. I think a big thing for David Miller is if he wins games for his side, that's when the confidence comes. I think having watched David Miller for a number of years, that's where I think he gains a lot of his not ego, that's not fair to David Miller, but certainly that's where you feel like the big shoulders come out from the left-hander from KwaZulu-Natal. This one's a slash and nearly catching the outside edge, but Van der Dussen collapsing his his stance under that, not falling, but certainly his knees were bent as he played that shot to give himself a bit of room there between bat and ball.
Yeah, way too many dot balls here from Rassie van der Dussen. He's on 14 of 15 deliveries. It is unfortunately not good enough when you're chasing 12 runs to the over. He really, really needs to get going now. South Africa are falling further and further behind the rate.
Absolutely. This is short, wide cutaway. There's going to be some covering fielding there. They're not going to get 2. They did think about it, but Chahal is the one to just collect that one.
Yeah, Rassie van der Dussen has a 4 and a 6 in his 15. That means he's made 5 of his other 14 deliveries.
Yeah, good to see here from Van der Dussen. We've got 1 ball left in our stint. I will leave you be, and Rut will be your partner in crime for the next 10. And I will see you on the 14th. That's my next call up to the side. I'd love to see Marco Janssen get a run in this series as well. Right arm around the wicket, and that so nearly could have been the wicket of David Miller. They're calling the ground staff on, which suspects in my
Might be
case.
drinks.
Is there rain? Oh,
I
drinks.
think it's drinks. It's 10 overs.
I was panicking. That there was rain. But thank you, Werner, for being my partner in crime. Ruud, keep Werner safe. Werner, keep an eye on the youngster.
All good, all good. How are you, Werner?
I'm well, and you, Ruud?
Oh, can't complain. Oh, so what do you think of these first 10 overs from South Africa?
Way behind the 8 ball. I was very impressed with
Yeah.
Dwayne Pretorius. It was good to see him coming in number 3 and doing his role to lift his run rate up. But the other batters have struggled to really get going. None of them have really gone off to a flyer. Rassie van der Dussen on 15 of 16 deliveries, chasing a score of 212. That is not helping the Protea scores. Miller has looked good. He's only had the 4 deliveries or the 5 deliveries he's made for. But he's looked busy. He's looked in control. A lot is going to rest on his shoulders here.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to have to carry that RPL form with him. But it doesn't help if your RPL captain is playing the other team and knows exactly what your strengths and what your weaknesses. Doesn't help.
True. But to be fair, when David Miller hasn't shown a lot of weaknesses of late. He's looked very calm. He's been at a very stable base at the crease. He's also improved his batting against spin immensely in the last year or two. So he will be key here. It'll be interesting to see how Tristan Stubbs goes on debut when he comes in. I think the one good thing with a score like this, he won't be in two minds with how he should go about it. He needs to come out and try and strike it big, so at least there won't be any indecision.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll be able to see him really just go into his own, because I know he's a very attacking player. And, when not chasing a big score, there's all, like with Mumbai, they were telling him just take it easy. His game is to go big. So hopefully he does go big today. Yeah,
it definitely is time for both ends. Both batters need to go big now. So 126 required of the last 10 overs at 12.6 to the over. And still plenty of overs from spin to come, as we see Akshar Patel will continue after the drinks break.
Yeah, into Rassie van der Dussen, who has been struggling a bit. And, there's not... Akshar Patel doesn't look to turn... and he uses his feet a bit, just works it into the leg side, still only getting the single, not, getting those twos, or at least if you're not getting a boundary, get those twos. Not doing that at the moment. So hopefully Miller can, maybe just get this run rate back, this run chase back on track. Yeah,
Rassie has been struggling a bit. He needs to get going. He's 16 of 17 deliveries. David Miller is on 4 of 5. The field, they have a deep square leg, a deep mid wicket, a long on, long off, and a sweeper out on the offside.
Yeah, as Akshar Patel into David Miller, he steps across and just works this into the gap to the sweeper. A lot of work to do by Chahal, but he does very, very well to keep it down to 1. Great fielding by Chahal. He's bowled. His second over was very, very good for me. His first over, Dwayne Pretorius got hold of him. But I liked how Rishabh Pant brought him back, knowing that 2 new batsmen. And then he got the wicket off the cock, if I'm not mistaken. So very, very good captaincy from Rishabh Pant. As Akshar in again. Rassie van der Dussen works us into the offside towards the sweeper area. Again, only 1. So the Africans not running very well between the wickets. Very good fielding by the Indians. But South Africa not doing well when they're running between the wickets.
Yeah, I think the problem is the placing isn't quite right. Just not good enough to come back for the second, but boundaries are the need of the hour right now.
As this one from Akshar Patel, short to David Miller, who just punches it down the ground to deep mid off for another single. So good over once again from Akshar Patel, only conceding 4 runs so far, 2 balls to go.
Yeah, the required run rate skyrocketing already up to 13 and over. It's still 9 overs to go after this. To sustain that type of run rate for such a long period is not an easy task.
As Rassie van der Dussen, a bit frustrated, goes down the track and just tries to work this over the top of Kyle corner, gets an inside edge, and they scamper through for a single.
Must say, I am excited to see what Tristan Stubbs can do. I've seen what he can do for the Warriors, and I've been very impressed for the last couple of seasons. He's been a standout striker, really, in the CS T20 challenge, striking at 180.
As this one is worked down the ground from David Miller. So 6 off that over. End of the 11th, the score is 92 for 3. Yeah, I haven't actually seen Tristan Stubbs back. You know, I've only seen him in the IPL batting, and that, obviously we all know that wasn't really great. But I have seen his scores for the Warriors, and they've been pretty impressive at a very, very good strike rate. Yeah, they're saying at 155.82, which is very, very impressive.
Yeah, no, he has a very stable base. He has a bit of a wide stance to the crease as well. He reminds me a bit of Kevin Peterson in the way he approaches it. And he has a nice, clean swing.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's a very good, clean striker of the ball. So my question to you, Van, is do you think that South Africa made a mistake with going for the extra bowler? As Harsha Patel back into the attack to David Miller, who just works this into the mid-wicket region for another single.
Yes, I do actually. I think we went in a better light here. I think we could have done with the extra batter, maybe instead of one of the spinners, or to be fair, Wayne Parnell, I thought Wayne Parnell bowled very well today. I was impressed with the way he went about it. He got those Yorkers in, got the ball to move around a bit early on. So it was good to see him back. That left-arm variation is always welcome in an attack. But I do feel that we're missing another batter here. Of course, no Aiden Markram. He's out due to COVID, unfortunately. But they could have potentially tried Heinrich Klaasen.
Yeah, as this one is well fielded by Haradek Pandya at the middle off boundary. Rassie van der Dussen rocks back and punches it to the offside for another single. So he's on 19 of 20. But I feel if they could have gone for Heinrich Klaasen, or even, I'm not quite sure if he's in the lineup, but you could have even asked somebody like a Dewald Brevis to stay back, because he also gives you that leg spin option if you do need it.
Yeah, I think Dewald is still the ways off, probably, with the way Bavuma has spoken. He's not in the squad, of course.
Oh, and this one is absolutely smashed to the short cover fielder, who does very, very well to stop it. It's still only another single, so very good bowling from Harsha Patel. He's only gone for 4 in his 1.3 overs and picked up the valuable wicket of Dwayne Pretorius, was of course smashing it all over the ground.
Yeah, it's been 20 deliveries since the last boundary. The required run rate going towards 14 now. India have really been able to pull this back since Dwayne Pretorius' wicket. South Africa was 60 for 1 after 5 overs. We're in the 12th over now, and it's only 96 for 3.
Now, this one's worked to get into the leg side for another single. So I don't know what South Africa are going to do, but they somehow have to make sure to get a wicket somehow, because at the moment it doesn't look very, very convincing for South Africa.
Yeah, they just need to start connecting it now. That's all they can do. They need to look for boundaries consistently here. Miller has looked like he does want to go for it, so I'm expecting him to launch a few pretty soon, or at least try.
And just as you say that, it's an outside edge from David Miller for 4. Harsha Patel going wide of the crease, getting a good Yorker on the wide line, but Miller somehow dugs it out, and it runs down to the third man boundary for 4. So that is exactly what South Africa need, and they need a lot more of it.
Yeah, it's definitely what they need. They need a few to go out of the ground as well. But as we say, David Miller has been in fantastic form, and I guess I have very high expectations from him. He has really matured as a player, and I think he is probably in his peak right now. Over his
this
30s.
one is picked up on the legs of David Miller for 6. Harsha Patel coming around the wickets again, straying onto the pads of David Miller, and he just clips this over the top of square leg for 6. A top cricket shot, and all of a sudden, a great over turns to 14, just to stray from Harsha Patel, and David Miller is not going to miss out on that. Great cricket shot.
Yeah, wrong line there from Harsha Patel, coming around the wicket, just angling into the pads of David Miller, exactly where he would want it. And with short boundaries, all he needed to do was get underneath it. That takes South Africa up to 106 for 3 after 12 overs. They still require 106 of the last 8 overs. But with David Miller at the crease, I would definitely not write them off.
No, as Akshar Patel bowling his final over of his allotted 4. His stats so far 1 for 21 in 3. South Africa will be hoping for a big one of this. Vadia, if you're South Africa, do you just keep him out and make sure you don't lose a wicket against Akshar Patel, or do you go after him and try to put him under pressure as he's into front of this and he goes down the track and it's a straight to cover for a single?
Yeah, I think we are at a stage where you can't just see any bowler out. The required run rate is over 13 runs to the over, so quiet overs here will just make that even harder. So I don't think they can afford to just see an over out at this stage.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I was thinking that, you've still got Tristan Stubbs in, you've got Wayne Pienaar can hit a ball, Rabada can be handy, so you need to go for it. As a good Yorker from Akshar Patel, and David Miller just works it into the leg side for a single. Very, very good fielding. One-handed pickup from Ruchiraj Gaikwad on the boundary, and he keeps it down to 1.
Yeah, fantastic fielding. Akshar Patel is not one to give it much air. He does love to dart it in. So he's not easy to get underneath to hit for 6s.
No, definitely not. But I've been very impressed with the Indian fielding. I feel South Africa were a bit sloppy in the field, and India have been very good. As for this thing, again, using his feet for the second time this over, and again, can't get anything done and just works it into the leg side. So I feel from the distance, it feels there's a lot of spin in this deck. So he doesn't want to. He wants to take that out of consideration and play a bit with Akshar Patel's lines and lengths, but it's not working at the moment. As Akshar wide outside off to David Miller, who smashes this through the offside for 4. Very, very good shot, wide outside off, and Miller just bounces on it, hits it through the gap, pass cover and sweeper for 4. Very good shot from David Miller.
Yeah, you can see which batter between the two has come into this match with a lot of confidence and form. Rassie van der Dussen had a bit of a struggle in the few games he got for the Rajasthan Royals. David Miller dominated for the Gujarat Titans.
Oh, and this one is a massive shot over the top of mid-off. David Miller using his feet, Akshar Patel tossing it wide, and David Miller still somehow getting his hands to it and absolutely smashing it over the top of mid-off. A massive shot for 6. That is a huge shot from David Miller.
Yeah, that was smoked. He had plenty of room to free his arms, and David Miller is on the attack here.
95 meters up into the 3rd tier. As this one short, and he pulls it for 6. What a cricket shot from David Miller. The first one, he double steps, goes down the ground. This one, he hangs back and absolutely just pulls it down towards Kyle corner for another 6. That over consisting of, 19 runs. 19 runs. Very, very good over for South Africa. They will not mind that whatsoever.
Yeah, as I said, they can't look to just see him out, and David Miller doing exactly the opposite, going big, making sure to capitalize it, bringing that required run rate back under 13 runs to the over. They now require 87 of the last 42 deliveries or 7 overs. David Miller has raced along to 36 of 16. Van der Dussen dragging along at 22 of 23 deliveries, and it's time for him to step up.
No, definitely. As we see a change in the bowling, Avish Khan coming back for his 3rd over. His first over was expensive with 15, but his second over very, very good. Only 4 runs coming from it. So what do you think the mindset is here from Rishabh Pant? Try to get a wicket or just try to get another over out of Avish Khan? What do you think it is? As he comes into Rassie van der Dussen, who steps across, and it is wide down the leg side. So any runs for South Africa, they will not mind it.
Yeah, no, I think the mindset probably is to get a wicket. I think he wants to get David Miller out now because he knows if David Miller bats until the last ball, South Africa will win this match.
Yeah, no, definitely. So Avish Khan coming back into the attack, coming back into Rassie van der Dussen. good Yorker, no run, very, very good ball from Avish Khan. He's really impressed of late, especially in the IPL for not only Lucknow Super Giants in the last season, but before that, even for Delhi Daredevils. He's really been a very good player. And this, I think this is his IPL. I don't know if this is his international debut, but it's definitely been coming for a while.
Yeah, no, I believe this is his 30-20 for India.
As he comes back into Dave, Rassie van der Dussen, who tries to work it down the ground, but can't, straight to mid-off. It's another dot ball. So after David Miller smashed Akshar Patel for 2 sixes and a 4, Rassie van der Dussen has given away 2 dot balls already in this over.
Yeah, he's played plenty of dot balls. He has 1 6 and 1 4. That's 10 of his 22. So he's made 12 of his other 23 deliveries.
Yeah, it's not good enough, not in this format, as this one is again his straight to mid-off. You can see David Miller backing up hard, just trying to get on strike because he knows every dot ball is very, very costly for South Africa here. They need to get something going. Rassie van der Dussen needs to get going. Even if he has to throw his wicket away, he needs to get going. Otherwise, South Africa are going to lose the game.
Yeah, he has a broken bat. It was beautiful bowling from Avish Khan, getting that Yorker in again, or getting that very full underneath the bat of Rassie van der Dussen. But I think at this stage, it's hit out or get out for Rassie van der Dussen because he really has been struggling. And I'd rather have Tristan Stubbs come in and try and hit a few big ones than have multiple dot balls.
Just to paint a picture for everybody listening, the Rassie van der Dussen's bat split right down the middle from the bottom of the bat all the way to the top, straight through the middle. It's insane. I've never seen a bat break like that. Have you?
I have, but it definitely doesn't happen too often, that it splits in the middle like that. Luckily, these days, batters have plenty of bats to replace it. I don't know if it might have been a lucky bat for Rassie, but it hasn't been working for him. So maybe it's a good thing that he gets a new bat.
It's a sign that he needs a new bat. But it's crazy how the bat just splits like that.
Yeah, we're seeing some highlights of David Miller's short innings. He has only 16 deliveries, but he's raced along to 36 with 2 4s and 3 6s. He's really brought back the impetus into this innings. He needs his partner at the other end to start striking it big as well. Still, South Africa requiring 86 of 39 balls at 13.23 to the over. A massive task, but doable on what is a small outfield.
Yeah, no, but he started off very, very slowly, 9 of 10. As van der Dussen again tries to work this down the ground, and this time he runs just to make sure he gets David Miller on strike, and he does complete the single. So again, straight to mid-off. It's only a single, so this over only conceding 2 runs with 2 balls to go. What can David Miller do? Can he bring this back?
Yeah, Rassie had to go for this. It was a carbon copy of his last 2 deliveries, shots as well. All of them going to mid-off. This one probably would have been a run-out had Haradek Pandya hit. It would have been a run-out. But he had to go for it. He couldn't afford another dot ball. Need to get the informed David Miller on strike.
No, definitely. As we see Avish Khan at the top of his run-up coming into David Miller. Can't quite see what the field is, but it looks like as they've got a deep square, a cow, a long on, a long off, and a sweeper, which has been normal for India. He's coming around, and David Miller just works it down the ground to mid-off for only a single. So the score 128 for 3 after 13.5 overs, and Miller on 37 of 17. This over only 3 runs so far.
Yeah, excellent over from Avish Khan. Even though he hasn't picked up a wicket, he's really brought things back under control again for India after what was a massive over, a 19-run over of Akshar Patel in the last one. So he wants to end it off well here to Rassie van der Dussen.
As Avish Khan back into van der Dussen, who goes straight over the top of Avish Khan's head, flat for 4. Very, very good shot, and exactly what van der Dussen needed. A bit over pitch from Avish Khan, and van der Dussen that finally can free his arms and get under it. And it's a very, very good shot, a half volley length, and van der Dussen does not miss out.
Yeah, exactly what was required now. The new bat working for him, it seems.
Yeah, no,
And it's a
definitely.
no ball, so it's going to be a free hit, exactly what South Africa need right now.
Oh, that is brilliant, brilliant stuff for South Africa. That is like bread and butter for them. They could not have asked for anything more. So already 8 of the over. Ooh, that is a tight no ball call though. His foot just over the line. I personally feel his foot is there's a bit behind the line, but it's a very very tough call for no ball. But anyway, South Africa will not mind that. Is this exactly what Van der Dussen needs to just get his innings started? As Avishkar into Van der Dussen, who just works this into the leg side to a deep square leg, and Ishan Kishan does the cleanup work for only one. Very, very good fielding. So a good over still from Avishkar, only 9 from it. In the context of the game, that is still a very, very good over.
Yeah, still a fantastic over from him. He got those Yorkers in. South Africa still requiring 78 of the final 6 overs at 13 runs till the over. Still plenty of work to do. Rassie van der Dussen on 28 of 29 deliveries. David Miller is on 37 of 17, as we see Bhuvaneshwar Kumar coming back into the attack. He's bowled 2 overs, only conceded the 7 runs and also picked up a wicket. He's been the mainstay for India.
So we're just seeing on the screen that the innings timer says that India have 22 minutes remaining and 1 over behind. If I'm not mistaken, that if you are behind time, you get docket points, or the captain gets fined. So do you know how it works exactly?
Yeah, actually, for every over you are behind, up until the last 20 overs, you can only have 4 fielders outside the ring instead of 5.
Oh, okay. So that does influence them, as Bhuvaneshwar Kumar into Van der Dussen, who just works us into the leg side and gets Miller on strike. So I like that they've brought that in, because I know in past years, the captain would get fined or something like that, but now it actually, you're allowed 1 fielder less for slow over rate, which is, I feel, very, very good.
Yeah, that does impact the game directly. So that just to get the game going along, because we have seen the game has really slowed up in the last while. Captains taking their time to set the field. Bowlers not quick to go through the overs. It really slows up the game, and T20 is supposed to be fast-paced.
Yeah, exactly. And, the quicker it is, the better, and you just got so much time. As Bhuvaneshwar Kumar into David Miller coming over the wicket, and David Miller going for a big slog, missing it, and it just goes over the top of off stump. Do you think that this period where Van der Dussen has hogged a bit of the strike has just maybe set David Miller off a bit, or what just
potentially, but I think that was just a fantastic slower ball from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. It's still, I would back David Miller here, but that was fantastic delivery by what is their premier bowler.
No, definitely. He's been in fantastic form, as Bhuvaneshwar Kumar coming back into David Miller, steps across, and he absolutely whacks this over the top of long on, but he doesn't connect it properly, and it goes between deep mid wicket and long on for a 4. Exactly what South Africa needed. He moves on to 41 of 19, and I think David Miller also has a broken bat now.
I don't know if it's broken, but it did come off the toe of the bat, but still he managed to power that into the gap. It just shows what immense power he does have. Important boundary there. So a good middle of the over start here for South Africa. Still 3 balls to go. He's on 41.
As Bhuvaneshwar Kumar into, what a cricket shot. This one across David Miller on the wide line, and David Miller just says, thank you very much. It's on a half volley length, and I'll just hit it over the top of mid-off for a big 6. Top cricket shot from David Miller, just following through with the shot, and he moves on to 47 of 20. What a cricket shot from David Miller.
Yeah, right into the slot, and he just goes with the angle of which it was delivered, which is something that David Miller has done very well. He doesn't look to just target one area of the ground. Wherever the ball is, that's where he looks to hit it as well.
This is very, very good. As this one, he pulls into the gap between long on and mid-wicket. Richard Gaikwad on mid-wicket has to do a lot of cleanup work, and they do scamper through for 2.
Yeah, David Miller up to 49 of only 21 deliveries, really dominating this partnership of 65, and that's come off 31 deliveries. Really the target now is still a further, what is it now? It's a further 65 runs required of 5.2 overs. South Africa just keeping in touch with that required run rate thanks to the lasty blows of David Miller.
As David Miller, final ball of the 15th over, pulls this one again, but this one straight to deeper wicket for a single. He does move to his 50 of 22 deliveries. Very, very good innings from David Miller. In that innings, he's had 3 4s and 4 6s at a strike rate of 227. Great stuff from David Miller. That is also his 50, his fifth 50 in T20 cricket.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Otto on Twitter saying, it is Miller time, and it is Miller time indeed. 5 overs to go. South Africa still require a further 64 runs. And yeah, so they're just about keeping right in touch with it. Still about the 13 runs and over. They are managing it at this stage. They need to keep in mind that Yuzi Chahal still has 2 overs to go as well.
Yeah, but what I've really liked about David Miller's approach in this IPL and with this new approach is, in recent years we would see him really try to go for the leg side or hit straight. Yeah, this year he's just going where the ball is and he's playing. He's not thinking of where this ball's going to land. He's just playing on instincts, and he's developed his game to hit through the offside a lot better, as this one has worked down the ground from Miller to the offside. It's very good to see he's actually developed his game to actually play through the offside as well as through the leg side.
I think what Markram's illness or the COVID hitting him has done is allow David Miller to come in at 4, which I believe is his best position in the lineup.
Didn't he come in at 5 because Van der Dussen came in at 4?
True.
As this one from Van der Dussen absolutely smashed. Oh, that's a drop catch from Shreyas Iyer. Oh, Avish Khan, why on the off stump? Van der Dussen pulls this straight to deeper wicket, and Shreyas Iyer drops an absolute dolly of a catch.
And I'm wondering here if this is a good or a bad thing from a South African point of view right now, because Rassie van der Dussen has been struggling out there. So in some way, this might not be too bad for India unless Rassie now gets going.
I was like, no, why don't you take it? We want Tristan Stubbs to come in and go 370 strike rate. No, but hopefully Van der Dussen takes this chance to really go big, because we know he is dangerous once he does get going. So hopefully he can start just hitting the ball properly.
All it takes is 2 balls out of the middle for him to get himself going.
Exactly. As we see a change in the field, fine leg coming into the ring, and we see the sweeper dropping back. So I don't quite know what I'm expecting Avish Khan to go full and straight to David Miller, as he is coming around the wickets, changing his action. And he does go full and straight, and Miller only manages to get through the leg side for only a single. This field is so small that it's impossible, nearly impossible to get twos on a regular basis. Very good fielding, though, from the Indian team.
Yeah, the field is small and the outfield is quick, so it gets quick to the fielders under boundary ring as well. So yeah, it's time now. This is Rassie van der Dussen's time now. He needs to get under the deliveries. He needs to hit a few lasty blows. 61 still required of 27 deliveries, and he needs to take on Avish Khan.
No, definitely. He needs to make something happen. As Avish Khan coming over the wicket to Rassie van der Dussen. And this is a good Yorker on leg stump. It's just the pad. They're peeling, but it's not going to not be given out. I think it's going down leg, as it is a leg bye to Rassie van der Dussen, who's now on 30 of 32 deliveries.
Yeah, that was comfortably going down leg. Optimistic appeal, I would say. David Miller just having a bit of a change of bats now. He's on 52 of 24 deliveries. Rassie van der Dussen on the other side, not going at a run of ball. He's on 30 of 32 deliveries. South Africa still requiring 56 of 25 balls.
Van der Dussen is reminding me of Ken Williamson in the IPL. And then you've got Rahul Tripathi at the other end, who's David Miller. As David Miller, again, just one pulled into the leg side, and the square leg fielder has no chance. The ball 10 meters from him, but Miller hit it so nicely and so sweetly that he didn't even have time to move to his right. cut it off. Great shot from David Miller, short from Avishkan, and David Miller pulls this into the leg side for 4 runs.
Yeah, fantastic work by David Miller. It's funny, it looks like they're playing on two different surfaces, Miller and
Yeah.
Rassi van der Dussen. It seems like they're playing a totally different game. Rassi is scratching around, trying to get the middle of the bat, but he isn't. David Miller is consistently fighting the boundary.
As we see Avishkan coming back into Miller. Oh, that is on the wide line. A very, very good delivery to finish off the over. Just an interesting thing that I saw before that delivery, Miller was on 56 of 25, and South Africa needed 56 of 25 to win. So if he can hit 56 of 25 deliveries, we can hit another 56 of 25.
Yeah, no, he definitely can do that. Still want stops to come in, to be fair. But hopefully now, Rassi van der Dussen, he soaked up a lot of balls, but it's not going to be easy. They still have 2 overs from Yuzi Chahal. They have Harsha Patel, who is an expert at the dev. He has those dipping, slow deliveries.
They still got over Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as well.
Yeah, they have plenty of options because Haradek Pandya can bowl as well. So maybe they won't even go back to Chahal. We'll see. But Harsha Patel is so good with those slow deliveries of his. Something to watch out for here for Rassi van der Dussen.
Yeah, they'll definitely still need an over from either Chahal or Haradek Pandya. Don't know who it will be. It'll probably be Haradek Pandya because we've seen spin has traveled a bit today. So I'm not quite sure. At this stage, I think India were also 156 for 2 after 16 overs. So still very, very good. And this one is a dead ball from Harsha Patel as he just runs through. So that Africa is still at the same space as India were at the same stage. So not bad at all from South Africa.
Yeah, not too bad, but our dev bowling isn't very good. India have a couple of very good dev bowlers in Harsha Patel and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, so I don't think we'll find it as easy. But David Miller needs to get as much of the strike as possible.
No, definitely. Rassi van der Dussen just somehow needs to get this ball aerial and over the boundary. As Harsha Patel around the wicket coming into Rassi van der Dussen, who does hit it for 6. A great shot. Harsha Patel coming around the wicket, going across the right-handed batsman, almost on a 6 stump. Van der Dussen moves across and just drags it from outside off over mid-on, between mid-on and deep mid-wicket for another 6. A great shot from Rassi van der Dussen. And is this where he starts hitting the ball cleanly?
Yeah, he nailed that one. That one was a flat 6. And that might be exactly what he required. You need another one here straight up. He needs to keep going here, put Patel under pressure.
So Patel again around. Oh, and this one on the legs. And he does hit it for another 6. A great shot from Rassi van der Dussen. A poor ball from Harsha Patel on the legs of Rassi van der Dussen. Full toss. And all Van der Dussen has to do is just clip it over the top of square leg for 6 more. Exactly what South Africa needed. All of a sudden, South Africa only need 44 of 22. Still a massive feat, but not as big as it was before this over.
Yeah, he's bowling right into Rassi van der Dussen's arc. He loves hitting it over that leg side, and I think he's bowling to the wrong plan here. He needs to be bowling full and wide to Rassi van der Dussen, not onto the stumps, and especially not full tosses.
No, definitely not. He needs to somehow he needs to go get a different plan. Maybe go wide Yorkers or go bounces. Just rush Van der Dussen or go slower balls because these balls aren't working, especially if he's got a deep square leg, a deep mid-wicket, a deep a long on, a long off, and 40 and what do you call it? A square leg. Not a square leg, a sweeper.
So yeah, he needs to come back over the wicket here. I would personally go slower balls into the wicket because the wicket has been gripping a bit. So he does need to change things.
He does go over the wickets to Rassi van der Dussen, and it is a slow ball. Van der Dussen just whips this into the leg side, and he still gets a 4. He pulls this from outside off. Very, very good shot from Van der Dussen. It just grips in the surface, and he's through the shot. 4 runs. Exactly what South Africa needed. 16 off the over. South Africa now need 40 of 21.
Yeah, Rassi van der Dussen finally coming to the party now, getting this one into the gap. This is exactly the over that South Africa and Rassi himself required. Harsha Patel not quite hitting his straps here. I think he needs to bring back that slower ball of his. He needs to get those slow, dipping slower balls in here. Those are a lot more difficult to hit. But good to see Rassie van der Dussen getting going as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. How costly do you think that drop from Shreyas Iyer is going to be when Rassie van der Dussen was only on 29? As Harsha Patel into van der Dussen again, fourth ball of the over, slow ball, and this one beats van der Dussen. It just keeps a bit low, and it's beaten van der Dussen completely, and South Africa now need 40 off 20.
Yeah, it was a big drop in that over. Was but in between the two, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. But I think that sometimes is exactly what kicks a batter into gear. He realizes, okay, he has nothing to lose here. He needs to go for it, and that's exactly what Rassie van der Dussen is doing in this over. He needs to keep going. He needs to keep going.
No, he definitely does. He's also approaching 50 as van der Dussen again facing. Oh, and this one is pulled into the leg side over the top of deep mid wicket. 6 runs. He steps across to the offside, short ball, and he just pulls this into the leg side. And I think that is also his 50. It is his 7th international T20 50. He's on 52 of 37. Before this over, he was on 30 of 32. In 5 balls, he's got 22 runs. Very, very good from South Africa. Very good from van der Dussen.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what Rassie needed to get himself into this series. It was a struggle out there for the whole time, but this over is exactly what he needed for his confidence and to get himself going again. So it's fantastic to see exactly what South Africa required as well. Their required run rates now dropped down to just below the 11 to the over, so they've really kept things in control.
As van der Dussen facing again to Harsha Patel. Oh, and Harsha Patel just absolutely falls over his own feet, slips, and that is a very, very nasty fall. He's okay, but that was a big, big fall.
Yeah, this happens a lot with Harsha Patel, actually. He lands on the side of his right foot. You'll see now with the replay, okay, maybe from a different angle. He tends to land a bit on the side of his foot, and he slips right underneath him.
Yeah, there you can see he does land on his the side of his foot.
Yeah, it's something I've noticed from him for quite a while now. It does happen from time to time.
No, and it can be very. The physio will not like that at all, as this one just beats van der Dussen again. So good over for South Africa. Only 20, not only, but 22 runs from it. The score now 178 for 3. South Africa needing 34 of 18. And just some stats on van der Dussen. He's 52, coming in 38 deliveries with 3 4s and 4 6s at a strike rate of 136.84.
Yeah, fantastic work from him this over. Really bringing things back under control. South Africa now needing 34 of 18 deliveries for 3 overs. That's looking a lot more achievable than it did a few overs ago.
As Harsha Patel does look like he's going to go off the field to just get some treatment after that fall, which does make a bit of sense. I mean, he did fall quite hard. As Bhuvaneshwar Kumar comes in for his final over, conceding 21 so far in his 3 overs, also getting the 1 wicket. That was the wicket of Temba Bavuma. The very, very good delivery, catching the outside edge, and Rishabh Pant taking a very, very good catch. As India have 7 minutes remaining for their final 3 overs. So at the moment, they're 1 over behind. So the last over will only be, they'll only be able to have 4 fielders outside the ring.
Yeah, and that could make all the difference if it goes down to those last couple of balls. 1 guy extra inside the ring could make a huge difference. And it will also make a difference if Harsha Patel is unable to bowl his last over, because they were banking on that last over of him.
Yeah. They might even have to bring, it's a bit late now, but even bring Chahal in for a quick over to get that over rate, going a bit. But India not taking this over rate very seriously. They're taking their time, not worrying about the time. They're taking their time as Bhuvaneshwar Kumar into David Miller, who smashes this over the top of long on for 6. A top cricket shot. 2-4 from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar on a half volley length. And Miller just is through the line of the ball. It's another 6 for him. He moves to 62 of only 27 deliveries. And all of a sudden, South Africa need 28 of 17.
This feels like the year of the Miller. It really does. Yeah. It bodes well for South Africa, the type of form he's in, the type of confidence he is in. He just needs enough time at the crease, and this is exactly what he can do. He moves along to 62 of only 27 deliveries, 4 5 6s at a strike rate of 229. South Africa only requiring 28 of 17 deliveries, and suddenly it's looking very comfortable.
And form like this is so needed just before a World Cup. And if he bats 4 or 5 in the World Cup, it's going to be good for South Africa. As this one's wide down on the offside, and it's a wide ball. But Rishabh Pant going up for the appeal for a caught behind. Don't think they're going to go up for the review. It has been given as a wide. And Rishabh Pant and David Miller having a bit of a chat. And India do review it. So from it, well, it's going to be interesting to see if Miller did get something on this. The umpire called it wide. But let's wait and see. Do you think there's some bet on this?
It didn't look like it originally, but we will see on the replay. But it seemed like he missed it by quite a distance.
Yeah, no, it does look like he missed it quite a bit. Normally, keepers just do that to throw off the umpire.
He missed that by a mile.
That is not a very good review. But when you're desperate, you'll try anything because they really need this wicket from David Miller.
Yeah, but it is a wide, so South Africa need 27 of 17 deliveries. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar will continue. Already 7 of the first delivery.
Yeah, no, definitely. And this is very, very good for South Africa. That's exactly what they need. And we can see all the South Africans having a nice chat with the Indians as this one just worked into the offside, but no run. That's what I like about the IPL is the fact that countries start, players interact with each other and there's not as much of a rivalry. And, you get to know each other and off the field and the sportsmanship just gets better and better as you get to know each other better and you play with each other more. It's just good for the game.
Yeah, it definitely is. So we see this partnership is 104 of 55 deliveries and David Miller dominating it.
As David Miller, this one through the offside, and it's good fielding from Shreyas Iyer at cover, but they will scamper through for a single. So good running from the South Africans. The score 186 for 3 with 15 deliveries to go. Yeah,
it's good. Rassie van der Dussen has fought it out there, and that 1 over made all the difference. And now he is rocketing along himself. He's found that confidence. He's found the middle of the bat. I'm telling you, that bat change made all the difference.
No, definitely did. I mean, this bat is also not breaking under pressure. It's really, performing. So I think it was the right decision to change the bat as Bhuvaneshwar Kumar into Van der Dussen, who absolutely smashes this over the top of Kyle corner. Goes onto one knee and slog sweep Bhuvaneshwar Kumar for 6. A great shot. All of a sudden, South Africa only need 20 or 14 deliveries. What a fabulous shot from Van der Dussen.
Yeah, that is the Rassie van der Dussen shot. That get down on one knee and slug it over the leg side. He just loves to do that. I feel like the Indians have got their plans wrong to him. That is his go-to shot at the back end. They need to be going wide and into the pitch to him. They haven't done that. And yeah, this new bat is doing the trick. That old bat of Rassie van der Dussen wasn't what it was all cracked up to be.
Yeah, that's why I felt Avesh Khan bowled so well to Van der Dussen, wide, full Yorkers and not giving Van der Dussen any time to free his arms. And in those last 2 or 3 overs, they've given him the chance to free his arms and go big.
Yeah, what a fantastic match, right? First match of the series, of a 5-match T20 series versus India. A target of 212. What a spectacle for the spectators, for the people watching on the television, for those listening into us. Thank you very much for joining us here at One World Sports Radio. Please do continue to tweet us at One World SR and at Gorilla Cricket SA. Also, do tune into our YouTube live stream. Comment in the comment section. Tell us, what do you think of the match? What do you think of the situation? What do you think of this comeback from Rassie van der Dussen and the continuous form of David Miller as we see Rassie van der Dussen facing up to the second last delivery of the 18th over?
Bhuvaneshwar Kumar coming into Van der Dussen over the wicket. Van der Dussen moving across, and this one edges over the top off point for 4. All going up Van der Dussen at the moment, getting the edge for 4. Very, very good. Well, not a good shot, but a lot of luck for South Africa, and exactly what South Africa need and what they want. Van der Dussen, he's in the mood to end this off early, and South Africa definitely in the pound seat at the moment.
Yeah, he wouldn't have said this a few overs ago, but Rassie van der Dussen has come to the party now with David Miller. Rassie van der Dussen has actually now gone past David Miller. He's now on 66 of 41 deliveries. South Africa are cruising along now, doing this comfortably with one ball remaining in the 18th over, only needing a further 16 of 13 deliveries.
As Bhuvanesh Kumar coming around the wicket to Van der Dussen. This one is edged again past the diving Rishabh Pant. And it's 4 more. The score now 200 for 3. South Africa 12 of 12. Miller 63 of 29. Van der Dussen 66 of 41.
This will be, or this would be, if they manage it, South Africa's highest successful run chase in 20 over cricket, or in T20Is. So this is fantastic going by them. 2 overs to go. They only need a runner ball now. Imagine that. Requiring over 10 runs to the over at the start, now only needing a runner ball. This partnership, 119 of only 9.2 overs, going at over 12 runs to the over. David Miller, 63 of 29 with 4 fours and 5 sixes. Rassie van der Dussen, 66 of 41 with 5 fours and 5 sixes, going at a strike rate of 160. And you can't even imagine the looks of the spectators in the crowd. They can't believe what's happening. South Africa are dominating this chase.
I can imagine their surprise. I mean, 3 overs ago, or not even 2 overs ago, South Africa still needed 13 runs in over. Now all of a sudden they need 6 runs in over in the matter of 2 overs. We see Harshal Patel does come back into the attack, into David Miller. Slow ball Yorker, very, very good ball. That is exactly what we wanted from Harshal Patel 2 overs ago. That slow ball Yorker, which he's been so good at in the IPL, that's exactly what he needs and what India need at the moment.
Yeah, it's good to see him back on the field. South Africa have made 94 runs off the last 6 overs. Chris Steeves in the comment section says he feels India were about 80 runs short on this pitch. And Gerald Paul is saying a special innings from Miller.
As David Miller faces up to Harshal Patel, just works this into the leg side to square leg for a single. Question for you, Vanny. Do you think India are missing Jasprit Bumrah in this innings?
They definitely are. I think him and Muhammad Shami. And Muhammad Shami is so lethal with the new ball and the power play. So those are 2 mainstays that they are resting. So it does make a big difference. But take nothing away from this run race from South Africa. Still not done yet. Harshal Patel is doing his best to keep the runs down in this over and also looking for a wicket. South Africa still needing 11 of 10 deliveries.
That's Van der Dussen facing up to Harshal Patel, and he tries to go big over the top, and Harshal Patel beats the bat. It's a dot ball, a crucial dot ball for India. That is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, indeed. Needing 11 of 9 deliveries. Looking at the way Rassie has approached this, he kept walking across the stumps, hitting it into the leg side. India have just missed the trick a bit with the way they've bowled to him, as I've mentioned earlier as well. They need to be bowling wide to Rassie van der Dussen.
As Bhuvanesh Kumar Harshal Patel coming into Van der Dussen again. And this one straight on the pad, and it's not given out. I feel that is straight in front of the wickets. But they do scamper through for 2 leg byes.
I think he got an inside edge on it, possibly, to be honest. It looked like there might have been some deviation, but they will be going for the review.
It does make sense because it looks straight in front of the wickets, and he did walk across quite a mile. So I can't see why. I would have definitely gone up. And
that's probably the only thing that can save him. Oh no, he missed that. It does look straight in front of off stump.
It's another slower ball Yorker that dips on the batsman. Van der Dussen not expecting it and gone through the shot way too early. It's dipped on him. He hasn't gotten any bat on it. It's hit him straight in front of middle and off. I can't see him getting through this one. I think he's gone. I think he's got to be LB. As we see here now, impact in line, but it's umpire's call. No, unlucky for India because that is probably going on to hit middle stump. It is going on to hit middle stump, but the umpire's call because Rassie van der Dussen is a fair bit away out of his crease. So that does help the umpire with his decision. Not very unlucky for India. And once again, the luck is against India in this run chase. as we see Harsha Patel coming back into Van der Dussen. Oh, and this one is a quick bumper. Hits Van der Dussen on the arm, and it goes through to third man for a fall off Van der Dussen's arm. Exactly what Van der Dussen and South Africa needed. They now need 5 of 7, which is not at all a lot. Very, very good stuff from South Africa. They've compiled this run chase very, very well from the start, going very, very aggressively at the start. And then a bit of a dip, and these two have really saved South Africa at the back end.
Absolutely. We seem to have lost Werner, but I'm here to back him up and take us home.
Hopefully South Africa can get this done, as Harsha Patel into Van der Dussen again. And this one clipped, but straight to fine leg. Should just be a single. It is only a single. So good over for South Africa. They now need 4 off the final over.
Can you imagine needing 4 off the last over? 5 overs ago. This was absolutely India's game to lose. And Van der Dussen stepping up, Miller just being David Miller, just made this look easy at the end.
Yeah, no, it's very, very good stuff from South Africa. I mean, Van der Dussen all going from 30 of 32 to 71 of about 46 deliveries, if I'm not mistaken, or 45 deliveries. It's very, very good. 41 runs in his last 15 deliveries, which is very good from Rassie Van der Dussen.
No, he always does that to us. He
Yeah,
eats up deliveries at the start of his innings, and then he just smashes it, corrects the score. And the thing is, when he gets out on 15 of 20, it looks bad. It always looks worse. So it looks like Chahal will be bowling the final over.
Which is a very interesting call, seeing as spin hasn't really worked on the deck, but then again, nothing's really worked. It's been a batter's paradise. So, it's a gamble from India, but it might just pay off if Chahal can hit his line. Oh, and Van der Dussen goes for the reverse sweep, over point for 4, and that is the game. South Africa win, and it's an immaculate run chase, chasing down 212 with 5 balls to spare. What a chase. Van der Dussen ending on 75 or 46. Miller 64 31. South Africa now lead this 5-match series 1-0.
Wow, and wow. Amazing score set by India, smashing South Africa into the ground. I didn't think we had a chance. And then Miller and Rassie said, wait a minute, guys, we still have to bat.
I especially didn't think we had a chance to bat after 13 overs where we still needed, I think, 120 runs or something like that. So very, very good comeback from South Africa to win this game. Van der Dussen and Miller both batting extremely well. Couldn't have asked for a better run chase. What a start to this series. I think this is going to be a series to remember.
Mm-hmm. Getting a win, that's and this team just showing some determination and some character here, especially Rassie Van der Dussen. I mean, he was at 20 of 23 at one point, I remember, and he just stepped up and matched the effort of David Miller, who seems to have finally carried his IPL form into the Proteas side. Thank goodness for that. Handshakes all around. And Ruud, do you have the scorecard there? Or any final thoughts? Okay, so let's go through that scorecard, because that's a nice scorecard for a South African fan tonight.
So for South Africa, Quinton de Kock, 22 of 18 with 3 boundaries at 122. He was bowled by Akshay Patel, caught by Ishan Kishan, a great catch on the boundary. Timur Bavuma, 10 of 8 with 2 boundaries at 125. He was bowled by Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, caught Rishabh Pant. Very, very good catch. Then Dwayne Pretorius sent up the order, played very, very well for his 29 of 13, 1-4 and 4 sixes at 223, bowled by an excellent delivery from Harsha Patel. Then Rassie van der Dussen, after a slow start, scored 75 and 46 with 7 fours and 5 sixes, 163. And then Killer Miller, 64-31 with 4 fours and 5 sixes, at 206 strike rate. And then India's bowlers were Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, 4 overs for 43 runs with 1 wicket at 10.75. Avish Khan, very impressive, 4 overs, 9 for 35 at an economy of 8.75. Yuzvendra Chahal, 2.1 overs, 26 runs at 12, an economy of 12. Haradek Pandya, only the 1 over, going for 18. Harsha Patel, apart from his 1 over, bowled very, very well. 4 overs, 43 runs, 1 wicket at 10.75. And then Akshar Patel bowled well until his final over, 4 overs, 40 runs, 1 wicket, and 10 at an economy of 10.
Excellent stuff. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Ruud. Thank you,
Thanks a lot,
Tsepo,
guys.
Werner. Yeah, Werner almost doing a double stint. Wahid Vardy, was so great to have Wahid back on the air. Ravi Nair, all the way from India. It was an amazing match. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. One World Sports Radio on YouTube. Make sure you follow our channel and make sure you get notified when we go live. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday at 3:30. So 3:30 GMT plus 2 here in South Africa. And that is 1:30 GMT time. Make sure that you join us then. And we look forward to bringing you the rest of this series. It looks like it's going to be an absolute dogfight between these two teams. India must have been thinking that they've got this in the bag. South Africa have been really poor in chasing big totals. Not today. And thank you so much. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Thanks a lot, Walter. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Bye.